Podcast, episode 672 for the week of Sunday, May 23rd, 2021. My name is Ed.
My name is Steve.
And my name is Alex.
And joining us this week for a special Piece Together is our good friend, translator for One Piece and Weekly Shonen Jump, Stephen Paul is here.
I'll allow it since there's no actual manga or anything else really that you didn't call me very special guest. That's all right. I'm just a normal guest this time.
Well, and you have opinions. You're allowed to have opinions. You have opinions about last week's manga chapter.
Yeah. No, I wanted to talk about it this week since I was recovering from my vaccine shot last Sunday, and so there were some interesting opinions that were shared, and I think kind of the general vibe was a little bit disappointed with the outcome of last week's chapter. And I was definitely there, like the first time that I read it, the first day or so. But actually, over time, I think I have come to appreciate it more. Or I think it's going to set up something that is even better. And I'm going to say, first of all, that I have not seen next week's chapter yet. So if anything that I say is correct, it was a lucky guess. I'm not so desperate to impress people that I would read next week's chapter and then pretend like I was guessing what was happening in the future. But I was thinking. So this is going to be specifically about Nami's thing, because everybody was sort of disappointed that it was like Oda set up this moment with Nami. She had her moment, she had her speech about beating Ulti, and then the chapter comes out and it's just like whoop, never mind. She's not going to fight Ulti. Big Mom took Ulti out, and then everybody just runs on. But I actually think that we are getting set. I think that actually sets us up for a better version of that. And it starts with Luffy getting knocked off the island. Because prior to that, I was always wondering, like, okay, how is this structure going to work? Because everybody's saying, okay, Luffy and Kaido are fighting. They're one-on-one. The two bosses are fighting up on the rooftop. And the guys are like, oh yeah, Luffy's gonna win. He's figured it out. He's gonna win. Well, if Luffy and Kaido fight to completion, then what is everybody else doing? Like, what is the point of all of the other fights? They're just fights for fight's sake. And one of the things that Oda is really good at, or he's very diligent at, I would say, even after 100 volumes, is he always makes sure that there is some kind of rationale for everybody to be fighting, even if it's like a really sort of artificial one. There's always some like story mechanism that's going on, right? It's always like, okay, we got to fight these guys in order to get to the safe location, or we need to go here to stop this thing from happening, or there's this Rube Goldberg mechanism going on. So knocking Luffy out or knocking him off of the island provides an opening for all of the other stuff that the officers and the Straw Hats and the Alliance people are doing. It gives them a purpose, because somehow this is all going to work out where like everybody needs to beat all the bad guys in order for Luffy to be able to come back, right? To get back to the rooftop. And why is Otama there? She's there to do the gifters thing, right? She's got her dumpling powers. She has to do the order to turn the gifters, even though they are chumps and idiots. We know, because they keep saying so, that like that's going to be a pivotal moment in the battle. And Otama is currently with Nami and Usopp, so presumably they're going to take her to the live floor, the performance floor, or whatever, to do that call to put out the word that will help turn the tide of battle towards the Samurai Alliance. And I always thought, like, I loved Nami's moment where, okay, so Otama is like, you hurt my friend, you don't kick Komachiyo, and then Ulti like gives her this little love tap and it's like, get off me, kid. And then Nami is super mad. But I always felt like that was it was very arbitrary, like a sort of thing. It was like, what would you, the wrestling term, like getting Nami over, right? It's like, we're setting up this
it's
thing.
Ulti's getting cheap heat.
Okay.
Cheap hit by hitting a child.
Right. Okay, there you go. So yeah, it's like it's an easy kind of, I don't want to say lazy, but it's like it's a very cheap way to set up that conflict. And I was like, okay, well, this is great because Nami is going to fight her now. She's going to get a cool fight. She has a reason to want to do this fight, but it still felt kind of arbitrary. And so I feel like Big Mom took out Ulti for the moment, but I don't think that's the end of Ulti. And now Big Mom is occupied because she's fighting Kid. So I feel like this sets up either right before Tama, like either Ulti has to stop Tama because she's like, oh, she's gonna use this power. Like, I need to actually stop her this time. It's not just me like arbitrarily like slapping this annoying child. I have to do this in order for us to win this battle. Either it'll be just before that or after that when she's like, oh, look what she did. She ruined everything. I have to go after her. And that gives Nami like a direct reason to protect Tama from Ulti, who is, going to be going after her. And and I feel like that's, maybe there's something to do with like Ulti is wounded now. So it's a more even fight or something like that. But the more I was thinking about it, the more I was like, I feel like that's got to happen. And I think that would be a much more satisfying way for that confrontation to play out, even if it seems like temporarily disappointing that, Nami had this big moment of purpose and then it just ends up turning into nothing. I feel like it's actually setting up a better one down the line. So actually right now I'm like super excited about that. So I'm hoping that's how it turns out. I have no idea. But yeah, that was my thoughts on last week's chapter.
How did you feel about Big Mom's laser beam?
I thought it looked awesome. I did not know about the all the like tokusatsu like kaiju movie like maser cannons. It was just sort of a thing where like he used some interesting kanji, and it was like, oh, to base off of the name maser, and then I looked it up and I was like, oh, maser is like an actual thing. It's like, similar to a laser, but it's microwave instead of light. So yeah, that was cool. I liked it a lot. I loved the banter with all the homies. It's so
Prometheus
it's so silly.
getting shut down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Steve or Alex, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I think I had thoughts last week.
Okay.
I got them out.
All right, so in addition to that, we're also going to have a Piece Together segment. We're going to take your questions, your comments, just in general, or maybe over the last couple of manga chapters, the anime, whatever questions you got, we'll take those. And we'll have an anime recap with Sam for episode 975. And finally, we're also going to have our discussion from, I think it's from a Thursday night live stream a couple weeks ago, talking about the unveiling of the World Top 100 and the show that Greg was on. So you can check that out, listen to that. I think we just sort of talk about our personal top fives as well in that segment. So check that out. But I think we'll just go straight.
Is there any other news? Oh, did we want to talk about the cover, the volume cover thing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Steve, you want to talk about it?
I think Shiki's going to be on
No.
It's our first triptych.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. We haven't seen the final illustration for 99 yet. We've just seen the sketch on Twitter and the official Twitter and Instagram. But it's going to be a completed. The next 3 volumes are going to complete one single image, and it looks like it's going to be all the Straw Hats in the foreground. And I've seen a lot of people go in and try to decipher what some of the upcoming sketches are going to be, but it looks like we'll have Big Mom as the antagonist or main focus on volume 99. It seems like volume 100 is going to have Yamato and Ace on it, the true villains of Wano. And of course, then that would leave 101 with Kaido, and the Straw Hats are going to be in the foreground, and I'm pretty excited to see that completed. I'm not excited to see the Viz version with like a big 100 just slapped on, probably covering Nico Robin again.
They got to make it that the new 3 numbers take up the same amount of space as the old 2 numbers used to, because if all the digits are the same size as they used to be, it's going to take up. It won't be just Robin who's getting hidden anymore.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we are almost at the 20-year anniversary of that like old original Shonen Jump design template. So like, yeah, let's. It'd be nice to renew that, to do something different. At the 100 volumes.
This is something that it's never really been discussed on the show, because when I was reading Shonen Jump back in 2003 and 2004. Of course, I'm a kid. I don't have money, so I'm like, I'm not gonna buy, the graphic novels. I got the magazine right here. I could have sworn that the first run of like volume 1s for the English versions didn't have that numbering system, that look. I think they all were. I remember seeing it. Maybe like it was like an Anime Insider. Just they were closer to the original Japanese volume covers.
Let me have a look. Grab mine off the shelf here. I think
and then they made a switch. I don't. But that's the thing. Like that might have been like a prototype. I don't know if it ever. Made it to the final, or who the hell knows? I might just be, Anime Insider could just use a Japanese picture for all I know. But I remember that wasn't the original plan, and then they just went with this. And now that Naruto's ended, I think One Piece is the only other series that's still,
Yeah, it's it's one of those things. Again, it's like it's a savvy move in a sense for like branding, to have all these things, especially when it's a new thing. They're still trying to like get this footprint, like get people to associate like Shonen Jump as this like brand. It's not just anime. It's like, oh, this is a specific thing. But it's definitely been disruptive to the art at times, and especially lately as like the covers get more and more crowded and complicated, and there's always somebody down in the right corner getting
Mike
Wazowski.
A lot of the early volumes, all the early volumes kind of everything used to be contained in like that border in the
right
center.
that
Nothing
too
really spilled out too much, and now
that's just free real estate though.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he realized. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have any control over that. Obviously, it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, we'll get right on that, switching it up. But it's not a bad idea.
I'm sure the people will let you know, Steven. But
yeah.
Sorry, I kind of brought it on a downer, but it's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I think like I think 99 is gonna have Jinbei, Chopper, and Robin on it, if I'm not mistaken.
And Usopp.
And Usopp as well? Okay.
Yeah, he's on there.
I was just looking at my volume 1 on the shelf, and it's got the same numbering template on it, and it's got the old Viz like comic book shaped thing on the spine, so I'm pretty sure it's the first one.
I think what I'm thinking of, if there's any merit to what I'm saying, I don't think that ever saw the light of day. I don't think that ever made it to printing.
Okay. All right. Well, should we get into some piece together?
Sure.
All right. Let's do it. This is the Piece Together segment where we take your questions, your comments, your theories, and give you answers, sometimes. But, first, and this is sort of a Piece Together is sort of the feature segment this week. Steve, let's start it off with some dis-piece.
Dat piece?
Our piece.
Your piece.
Flashing my piece all over the place.
That's gross. All right, let me check here because we still have some stuff from last week.
Yeah,
but, okay.
I think May 18th is where it starts.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Our first one is from Narthon, and they write, just occurred to me during the Davy Back fight, during the Davy Back fight. Was there another Davy Back fight? I'm confused. During the Davy Back fight, that Baby Five's name is probably based on her being the 5th child born from her mother, and her mother not otherwise naming her, there could be a whole story on the tragedy that is Baby Five's life.
Yes.
I don't know how any of that is tied together.
I don't know what that has to do with the Davy back fight.
I believe the whole story of that
Baby.
tragedy happened within about 3 panels of flashback on that one page, where
Yeah.
It's the it's the baby shoes for sale, never worn. It's the
flashbacks. Yes.
Yeah, the shortest story of movies.
What was her backstory again? Like she was like left in the woods or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
They didn't have enough food, and so her mom abandoned her because she couldn't feed her. And yeah, I don't remember if it was explicitly stated in the story or in the SBS, but the Baby Five thing was definitely because she was the 5th child.
Starving to Death features a lot more in old Japanese stories from like before like 1900. Like in fact, it features in a lot of. Well, it used to be a lot more food insecurity in general, I guess.
Like the Kozuki Odin backstory. That's Okiku and Izo's start.
It is also,
I don't know how. Oh, go ahead, Steven.
I was gonna say it's a fact that like I forget how it's officially defined, but like the Japanese islands are, I want to say they're like 80% mountainous terrain. Like there's very little flat land. In fact, the Kanto Plain
lives in Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The Kanto Plain, which is where Tokyo lives, it goes up north of Tokyo, is the largest by far amount of flat space in Japan. So, yep, not a lot of cropland.
So that's their Montana. I take it.
Yeah, big sky.
There's more flat land in Montana probably than in the entire country of Japan.
Oh my God, I feel like an idiot. This whole time they wrote David backfight, and I'm reading it as Davy backfight. I'm like, what does the Davy backfight have to do with Baby Five? Did Baby Five's mom compete in it, and if she lost, she had to give her baby back? It's
the baby backfight.
baby back fight. I want my baby back.
Baby back fight. Oh baby.
Okay, what's next?
I was desperately trying to think if there was a character name that sounded like Chili, but I guess not. Super Nintendo Chalmers writes, was listening to OPP when I realized a twist to Greek mythology that fit with the whole Zeus still alive theory. His father, the Titan leader Kronos, overthrew his own father, Uranus, and learned of a prophecy that his own sons would do the same to him. So he ate his children as they were born, one of which was Hera, so yay, sibling incest when they marry. Zeus was the 6th child, and his mother, Rhea, saved him from the fate and replaced him with a rock, which Kronos ate, thinking it was the baby Zeus. Zeus grows up with the grandma Gaia, pissed off at Dad, comes back all grown up, gets Dad to barf up his siblings, and they overthrow the Titans.
Wow.
So,
Cronus also cut off his dad's junk. So
Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah, Greek mythology is like
Really fucking cool, huh?
up. Yeah.
Much better than our silly Western stories of, Jesus.
Of superheroes cursing.
I like my gods horny.
And all of this appears in God of War.
And that what was that other Greek mythology game that came out last year? Hades?
Hades.
Oh yeah, Hades. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to fuck everybody.
Accurate. It's accurate to Greek mythology.
Yeah.
What's next?
Sorry, I haven't played Hades yet, so I'm sitting here. I'm like, how could I tie everything together for some? So I put it on.
I don't play games. I just get it by cultural osmosis.
That's what Twitter
pretty
is.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works. Next is from Earth, Wind, and Fire. I really hope Zeus is somehow still alive and leaves Mom for good, so we could get a spin-off sitcom about an awkward cloud boy and a small-town bunny girl sharing an apartment and navigating young adulthood in the big city. What are we calling it?
Let's see. Well, that's obviously Cloud Carrot and Zeus, right? So
Yeah.
That's good. The
Yeah.
God
Wow.
couple.
we love Dead Air.
God.
The God couple. That's funny.
See, bunnies and clouds, rabbits, carrots, fur.
Furry and fluffy.
Furry, nah, it's
No.
Cloudy with a chance of black balls.
But what about carrot?
Making with the homies.
Let's see. I'll come up with something in a moment.
Big mink in the big city? Is that
No.
mink in the big city. We're gonna mink it after all.
Zeus.
It's a short episode this week, folks. We could sit here
We
and
can do
come
this
up
all
with-
day.
Zeus.
Yeah.
Carrot.
Zeus, cloud, rain,
Wabbit
rain,
season.
wabbit, bunny, bunny.
This sucks.
What's next?
Good for them. Next one comes from Zigzag Paddywhack.
Okay.
Give a dog a bone. Hey, OPP, I have a bone to pick with Funimation. I just got Season 11, Voyage 2, and I'm very upset with the Blu-ray. On the back, it says it's uncut and unedited, but there were no scenes of Nami and Robin completely naked. Why do I complain about this? I was hoping to see Leo explore the forest region of V.
That's a very old podcast episode title.
Yes,
Sign
it
it up.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have ourselves to blame for that one.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance that we haven't actually stated this yet, but as of this week, the podcast is 12 years old.
That's true. Well, it'll be as of what? It'll be at the next episode because it was May 31st, 2000.
Oh, I keep thinking it was the 25th.
No.
Okay.
Just don't ever change the account's birthday on Twitter. Get us locked,
Yeah.
deleted.
That happens?
People keep
Yes.
yeah.
Keeps happening.
If you ever set the birthday to within under 13 years of the date that you created the account, Twitter will automatically lock it, and it's like irreversible. Or
That sounds like
That's not.
that sounds like the story I heard recently of that Japanese man like dating like 13 women so he made up 13 different fake birthdays so he could get 13 different birthday gifts.
No, I thought it was the guy the guy in Taiwan who got married and divorced to his wife 4 times so that he could get a week of vacation from his job. Like, just getting immediately divorced and remarried in succession to accrue, paid days off.
Oh, I
It's
see.
one way to do it.
Yeah.
Hey Zach, if you're listening, this is your way out, buddy. That's all for Disputes this week. We don't have too much. We could just sit here and talk about more about the potential of a Zeus and Carrot sitcom. That's
Well, we have some other.
Bunny weather.
Hey, it's not bad.
it's always bunny in Philadelphia.
Where's the cloud aspect? You gotta.
Oh,
You have to. You have to get the other part in there too.
It's always bunny in Seattle. It's not always bunny in Seattle.
You're fired.
Get it? I don't need this job anyway.
Did we get any emails this week?
We do. We have one email. Let me fetch that for you.
Fetch it.
Fetch it.
Fetch it like Lycos, the search engine.
Oh my god. Dogpile.
one is-
Remember that?
No,
Remember Dogpile?
No,
Let's
I
ask
don't.
Jeeves.
The action?
No, Dogpile became Google, I think.
Oh.
Oh.
It's
remember
called
Ask Jeeves.
Dogpile. I asked Jeeves a whole lot of dirty stuff. You know what? I don't think he knew what he was talking about.
I never heard about that. Let me dogpile on that real quick. FS Pirate writes, Hey crew, with all your discussions about how the anime would be better if it was released in seasons, I was in full agreement, but then I watched Black Butler and The Promised Neverland when a thought came to me. If it was released in seasons, would the anime survive if they had a season of filler that split away from the main storyline in the way Black Butler did, or if a season was poorly made and mishandled the manga content like in season 2 of The Promised Neverland? This has also changed my opinion on the anime. While it can be agonizingly slow at times, at least you know that you're getting what you're getting, and nothing will be left out. And filler arcs won't have a drastic impact on the story. So now I'm in 99% agreement that the anime would be better if it were released in a seasonal format. On a side
Only
note,
1% change.
On a side note, I miss Zeus. I hope he comes back. Well, coming this fall to ABC Friday nights.
That's right.
Bunny Weather, starring
Bunny
Zoe
Weather.
Deschanel and that guy from King of Queens.
Kevin James?
Kevin James as Zeus? You know,
No, that's not quite.
that's not bad casting.
That's like then he'd be in a movie called Paul Blowed Mall Cloud.
Man, just trying to come up with something there. It's pretty good.
Man. So I don't know. It's just the anime. Always talk about would it be better in seasons or not. I didn't watch Black Butler. I heard what happened to The Promised Neverland. Do you think at this point that Toei would stray away from?
No.
Well, no. I mean, if it
storyline.
was, it would be different. It would be a different story if it was at the beginning of serialization, and there was a chance that even with seasons, it would still catch up. But then you have something like I've been watching what's been coming out of Baki on Netflix, and that's a really old manga, and they're just pretty much adapting it one for one, straightforward.
Yeah.
So, I think it would end up being something more like that. But once you're as big as One Piece, you can pretty much, you're bound to. You're just writing checks at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And people have been telling me the new season of My Hero has been really fluffing stuff up. And
What do you
dragging
mean?
Things out.
Oh.
Really extend, like if you're familiar with the current arc that they're on, just like the class 1A and the class 1B.
Oh, man, they're dragging that
competition.
out. It was already pretty long to begin with.
Cool. I'm glad I'm not the only one who was reading that. I'm like, yeah, this is great. Why are we doing this?
I thought it was fun. It was just very like you're spending way too much time on this. To get on a little bit of a My Hero soapbox, I'm glad it's ending soon. It's I don't think it's as good as overall arc for me was the peak. That was
Oh.
good stuff.
Oh, shots fired.
It is a shot that's fired.
That's fine.
I think the most recent stuff is, the My Villain Academia was boring and I didn't care for it, and I don't care about any of these villains except for Mr. Compress because he looks cool. But that's it. I don't care about Spinner. I don't care about Dobby. Dobby can go fuck himself.
He can go dab off a bridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I watched all the way through the All for One fight, and that's pretty.
So you're
I'm way
really far
back.
behind.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like,
I'm so far behind.
That was like once you defeat him, I'm not sure. I don't know. Once you defeat him, what's the point?
You'll see what happens.
I'll pick it up eventually someday.
I didn't
Dr.
enjoy the
Robotnik's in
villain-
it.
Dogma?
Well, kind of, actually.
I just can't wait to see the My Hero equivalent of Scratch and Grounder.
Oh, man.
Is it? Do I have permission to talk about My Hero just a little bit more?
Oh, sure. I mean, I don't really care about spoilers. I'm gonna forget by the time I watch it anyway.
I haven't read
I
today's
was-
chapter yet, but...
Because maybe we could tie this into One Piece, but it's just I didn't care about like the next arc, like the My Villain Academia, if you will, arc.
Yeah.
Because I honestly think they were starting to paint the League of Villains out to be. I hate to just flat out say, oh, they're making them sympathetic, because people would say that about Doflamingo's backstory when that was always meant to be. No, Doflamingo was a little shit. He always was a little shit. This is just hammering it in.
And then
champion of evil.
A lot of bad stuff happened to him, and it made him worse. Like,
Yes,
he was already
exactly.
bad.
Yes.
With the villain stuff in My Hero, it was starting to. It's like, isn't it so sad? It's so sad. Like, look what happened to the Deadpool looking guy. What the hell? was his
Dobby.
name again? No, that's the fire guy.
Oh. I don't remember his name.
The multi-man.
Multi-man. Multiply, split, duplicate. What's his fucking name? Multiply. Split.
No, it's not.
What the fuck is his name?
Isn't Split that Shyamalan movie?
Yeah, his real name is like Bukaduba Booba or something like that. Like it's a name it's way too long for me to even remember and care about. God, everybody who reads My Hero is yelling at me right now.
Yeah, we people are pissed off at us, but this is what happens.
What's his name? Clone?
Twice.
That's what it is. Yeah, Johnny 2 times.
Johnny Two Times.
He says everything 2 times.
Polly one time.
Twice.
Guy.
Say everything twice.
Yeah. And Pally's. Boy, does this body smell or what? What'd you say?
I just felt like we get like a backstory of him, and he's just like, I always wanted friends and all that. And I was like,
okay, so did we all. Cry me a river.
Like these people are, they're murderers, and now they're all murdering each other.
And now they're gonna murder me. Oh my god.
Oh, is it like the 3rd week in a row we made that?
Yeah, it absolutely is.
I don't want to come in like a One Piece snob, like in My Hero territory, but I will say this: I think One Piece has ruined me because I'm like, if this doesn't like hit on every single like level imaginable, it's not gonna match. I don't know. One Piece is just, there's so many different things, like aspects about it. That also, it's such a huge story that there is great moments of action. The comedy is fantastic. There's some tear-jerking moments. The whole aspect of adventure to it. The found family. There's so many different things going on in One Piece that like it's like, oh man. It's like, I think that's why, to be completely honest, every time we get a question about what manga are you reading right now other than One Piece, I don't have a whole lot of answers for you.
Yeah,
well, it's a lot of non-shonen stuff. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Usually gag manga and Shonen Jump these days, which is
gag
fine.
manga and like
gag manga.
Manga for old people.
Yeah. Like 20th Century Boys. Like I still got to go back and finish reading it, but I was like breezing through those big volumes.
Oh yeah, man! I just finished. Well, I guess I just finished 20th Century Boys. I gotta read 21st Century Boys now, so I gotta wait for the final big volume. But that's the best series I've read in a while.
It's real good.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's pretty excellent. Maybe I'll start Monster next.
I think you would.
Songs, right?
I think you like Vinland Saga or Planetes, the Makoto Yukimura comics.
Someone did ask. Someone did ask us on Twitter. It's like, like what, or was it a piece together question? Like what spinoff? Or I think people were just adding to that question we were asked last week about spinoff podcast. And I could see all us old bastards just doing Orosara, podcasts.
Nobody's gonna want to listen
really
to
good,
that.
though.
Yeah, it's good.
No, old nerds would listen to it, and that's about it. But
we got some Reddit questions, right?
Yeah, we got a couple questions on the subreddit Archipelago, and we will start with one of Big Mom's kids. That's the name. Hey OPP, your favorite Minister of Flower here, coming at you from the Chateau on the Plateau. So recently I've been listening to 105.5 FM Bobbin in the Morning for all my news on Luffy, and to my surprise, I hear he was knocked out. But speaking from experience here, this seems like when he'll go into another gear. If this is the case, what will the next gear be like with Love and Donuts Katakuri?
I have 2 theories.
Go ahead.
Ooh.
One of which is Dragon Man.
are any of them to go even further beyond?
Yes.
This would be a Gear 4 Dragon Man or Gear 5?
Yeah.
God.
Gear 4 Dragon Man or Gear 4. I was talking to a friend of mine about this. How Snake Man, Big Snake is one of the. Most of Luffy's attacks have been sort of modeled after, the animals that he was with on Ruscania or whatever, right? So maybe Lion Man or Elephant Man. But Dragon Man, I think would be cool because then, he's fighting a literal Dragon Man. I thought that would be kind of neat, and that's sort of the next step up from a snake, and he's using Ryo-Oh, which I guess could also be kind of transliterated into Dragon King.
Now, how would Dragon Man differ from Snake Man? Would Luffy like stretch out his like torso?
I don't know.
And look like a dragon and just like kind of like I'm you can't see me, but I'm like I have my arms like clutched up to my chest like I'm a T-Rex. Like,
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I honestly don't know. I didn't think that far ahead.
Sabo did those
same.
Dragon Claw attacks.
Yeah, it's the same thing as Snake Man, except he swigs like a mouthful of gas before he starts, and then he lights his lighter, and then blows a fireball.
Oh yeah, he does have his Red Hawk attack that he could sort of repurpose into something like that.
Red hockey.
Whoa, ice hockey.
The hockey is unlimited. Yeah. Let's see. Falcon Gale says, now that the Oden flashback is officially complete in the anime, how do you all feel about the adaptation? Does it give you hope that the rest of the arc will be just as wonderfully adapted? Is there a part you can't wait to see animated? And what was your favorite Oden flashback moment?
I guess when they get that first, what I'm looking forward to would be like when they get that first combination attack on Kaido from a couple months ago, I think. Yeah, that would be cool. And also like knocking Big Mom off of the skull, that would be also very cool, I think.
I think we're definitely going to see the pace slow down a lot.
It's already slowed down the last couple episodes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the last couple they really had to stretch for time. Really got the feel that Odin was in that pot for a while.
Yeah, it was painful. Not like necessarily in a bad way, because just the material is emotional and painful anyway. But there was very little levity.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing like the Toby Roppo in action.
Yeah, I want to see who's the is page 1 the Catman?
No, that's Who's Who.
Who's Who, right?
And I was just gonna say I kind of want to I want to see more of Who's Who, Jinbei in Cat Tower Land.
Just in the manga, I mean, it's not even for the anime just yet, but
yeah.
I mean, I would assume, like based on the precedent, that a lot of these big fighting moments that we've seen, like the really cool like team up attacks and things, I'm sure they'll go all out for those the way that they have been doing. But I guess if there's any slack, if there's any ability for them to kind of let up off the gas a little bit in terms of the work going into it, it would probably be, in some of the slower parts of what's coming up.
Mm-hmm. And then we were also asking what was our favorite animated moment from the Oden flashback. Can't help but think of Roger and Whitebeard.
Yeah, really.
That clash.
It's less that clash to me and more their respective crews running at each other. That's my that's my personal favorite bit.
Just that whole sequence.
Yeah, everybody moves individually so well. Like it's very cool.
Well, like Odin flying in and Roger like smacking him back into a tree. That was that would probably be it. Or even just when Odin comes out of the forest on Wano and attacks Whitebeard as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
All right. Next, here he is himself. Bobbin in the Morning says, appreciate the shout out, Katakuri-sama. Listeners have been down ever since COVID. My damn bobbin snails keep calling out. But while I'm here, OPP, do you think this Robin fight is happening anytime soon?
Robin in the Morning.
I think
I like that. I like that people haven't forgotten the Bobbin in the Morning bit. Ed, how's that voice go again?
It's 101.5 Bobbin in the Morning. Check it on the news and weather on the 11s. Stuff like that.
Oh, don't you gotta like jiggle your jaws a little bit more? Like, Bobbin in the Morning.
Well, it's because he's like a metronome man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if like the Robin fight specifically, but like I was kind of talking about in the intro, I feel like this is sort of setting us up to finally start addressing a lot of these one-on-one situations. Because Oda loves having his mechanisms for the plot to move forward through fights. Next is from Prince of Assassins.
Can I just add one thing to that? I really hope that Brooke and Robin kind of stay separated. I kind of hope Brooke is dealing with all like the yokai women while Robin fights Black Maria.
That's fun. I like that.
Yeah, I let Robin have her day. Yeah, just let her have that morning.
Yeah. It's funny because I would have said like, well, okay, but then, where does that leave Brooke? But, if that were to happen, it is true that like Brooke's biggest weakness is like his fear of like the undead or like, ghosts and goblins and things like that, which is, always like used for ironic humor. But like, hey, that could work as an interesting thing, an interesting angle. Prince of Assassins says, now that the anime showed Toki's death as more explicit than in the manga, is anyone still in the Toki is alive club? Either Jill, Sam, or Roger owes one of the other two some kind of bet, if I'm recalling it right.
Well, we'll probably might hear about that on the anime recap segment. We'll see.
Well, I think from what I remember, I think Roger then stated, "Is like, hey, I only said, is that Toki in the storage room or not?" And I think he worded it carefully.
How much is that Toki in the window?
Yeah. Or maybe that's something Zach pointed out to me. I'll tell you right now, I don't recall Toki saying she carried ketchup stars with her. So
yeah,
and
dead. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta be classy. You gotta be tasteful about it. Give them some dignity.
Well, just even going back to like when we had that Oden fake out and we had Greg on to talk about possible fire festivities with spirits and all that. And I don't know if anyone's going to use, hey, look, there's Toki. She's back. And I'm like, but she's not dead. She didn't go through a time portal or something. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows what will happen? But she's dead. She's not living anymore.
Yes, and speaking of dead, our last question on Reddit comes from Born to Boil, who says, do you think Oda will focus more on the characters that ranked high in the World Top 100, Law, Yamato, Sabo, rather than the Straw Hats that ranked low? And then there's a conflicted-looking frowny face emoji. I guess
that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm remembering too that like he's supposed to be drawing this big color spread, so I wasn't sure if they were referring to that or the story in general. But I don't know. I mean, I would say like I don't think it matters to Oda, but I don't think that's necessarily true. Like I think he does like sort of take cues from how just in terms of like, okay, what do people see in this character? Does like the public image of this character match like the vibe I'm trying to put off with them, or like have I inadvertently made them too interesting in some way for what their role is in the story? So I do think he does some like fine adjustments to what happens with the characters, but I don't know what that would translate to in terms of actual story usage.
General Frankie's dueling with what's that? It's not Sakazuki, it's
Sasaki.
Yeah, just remember the name of the head of Shonen Jump.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, Sasaki and General Frankie, giant robot versus giant dinosaur, then Carrot just like tags Frankie out. It's like, no.
It sounded like you said giant robot versus giant donut.
That too.
It's Sasaki versus Lard Lad piloted
or
by Frankie.
Yeah.
Sasaki has to use like a hemorrhoid donut, like in order to sit down.
Attack of the 50-foot monsters.
He has a tail.
Yeah, but he also has a butthole. You can have a tail and a butthole. Ask cats. They let you know all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Ask who's who. He's got a butthole, I'm sure.
Got any more?
That's it for Reddit.
Is it for Reddit? Okay.
He's got a butthole. He's a cat, and he's also got nipples. Can you milk him, Greg?
All right, our last segment here on Piece Together is the Piece the Tweet. Yeah, Piece the Tweet segment. First one comes from a friend of the show, Mike Morris, who says, "Hey OPP, how's it going in general?" I don't know. It's pretty good, actually. I mean, I've been vaccinated for a couple of months now. I went to the zoo this afternoon. That's fun.
That's pretty good.
This was the first weekend, like, I kind of went out and hung out with friends, and felt good.
Went to see Demon Slayer in the theater. That was all right.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've been seeing friends. I had my old improv troupe over for brunch yesterday. I saw Joey. I took him and Melissa out for dinner last night, and then we had boba and talked about Godzilla. It was really fun. It was really great seeing him.
So they were visiting.
They stopped in town for a night, and we hung out. It was really great.
Wow. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think last week was my second vaccine dose, so I get technically another week before the entirely all clear. But I'm looking forward to that sort of stuff. I need a haircut really bad.
Yeah, I've been able to do that for a little while now. It's improved. Like the self cut is, it's not great.
Yeah,
works fine for me.
I have a problem with the back of my head, and that I have two cowlicks back there. So after a little bit, just the back of my head looks like crap. So at the behest of my girlfriend, I went to an actual salon this time, and I've never been to a salon, and I ended up getting a really excellent haircut. So I'm going to be the type of person that goes and gets their haircut every 8 weeks, like clockwork, because I don't want my cowlicks screwing up my do.
There's a good. I remember I used to get my hair cut up on up Connecticut Avenue when I lived up there. But anyway, next question comes from Gabe Ruiz, who says, "What do you all think Yamato's Zoan Devil Fruit will be? Because all we know so far is he can make sharp teeth. Well, he's got horns, but I guess that might just be from."
How do we know that's not a paramecia? The TT for the chomp for
teeth.
No, that's
tooth.
No, that's munch tooth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still possible that there's some weird part oni or something like that, not a devil fruit. We'll see.
If Kaido is necessarily human to begin with, I think he is, but
yeah, there's a lot of mystery still around that part of the story.
Because people were like, T-Rex was thrown around a lot, but Yamato's not really.
I mean,
associated with the Toby Roppo.
You've already kind of got that with Drake. It's not the same. It's not exactly the same, but it's close enough.
I do find it interesting that Oda didn't pull the trigger on using a T-Rex, and I think because T-Rex, that's
that's the king.
It's the dinosaur. King.
Yeah.
Yamato could be T-Rex.
We got a T-Rex.
A Yamato T-Rex.
I'll write that down. Okay, next one comes from let's see here. Next one comes from Ethan. No, this one's for you. This one's for Steve. If the Straw Hat Pirates were Transformers, what would they transform into?
Okay. Should we just write out boats? Is boats too easy?
They're all boats, except for the devil fruit users. Luffy transforms into an anchor. Oh yeah, barrel. That's better. I like that.
What if it was Beast Wars? Well, we've already done that question before, I guess.
Yeah, we would just say the animals they are. It's more fun to pick cars.
The Kaizoku-trons.
Oh shit! That's actually a really good name.
Nami would be some kind of convertible of some kind.
Well, it'd be
an orange
orange
convertible.
Yeah. Chopper would be the Beetle.
Chopper
I was gonna say Chopper's a Volkswagen Beetle.
Right. Chopper's a GoBot.
Oh my god.
Jinbei would be like one of those Jeeps with the snorkel on them.
You mean like a Range Rover?
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant like a duck boat at first. That would be pretty great, actually, if Jinbei was a duck boat. Frankie's a tank, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
that's a
It's
lob.
Frankie Tank.
Yeah.
Mm.
I would
Robin's
say.
the bookmobile.
Usopp would be Usopp would be the Homer.
Oh man,
So many different features.
that's a little.
No,
That's true.
You know what? Because I just saw it in a mall like 2 nights ago. You know those like tiny little compact cars that look like
Like a
gold members, like little
like a Mini
little
or
Wayne
a,
car.
Yeah, Mini Cooper.
No, not the Mini Cooper. Like it looks
smart
It
car?
is just like it is a tiny little like it's like a smart car, but it's a little like longer vertically. It looks like a chode.
like a Scion XB or something like that.
Maybe that's Usopp.
I know he's not a Straw Hat, but I think Whitebeard would be a station wagon.
Brick,
minivan.
obviously a hearse.
No, that's Big Mom. Big Mom's a minivan. Big Mom's a minivan.
Yeah. Big Mom's got-
Whitebeard's like an RV.
some dad's got to be a station wagon. Maybe Roger.
Yeah, the RV.
I think
big old camper.
Brooke would be like a Lincoln Continental.
No, Brooke would be a hearse, dude.
Yeah, you'd be a hearse. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, they do
My
make
bad.
those. You know, you can get like a Lincoln hearse.
What about the monster trio? What about Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji? I think you would. I guess you got to be more experienced with cars.
Well, one of them would have to be a monster truck, right? Like
Well, that would be
Zoro.
Kaido. Kaido's a monster truck.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a monster truck. I keep thinking that like
Dragon.
what I think Luffy would just like his if he was a car, it would be completely made of tires, just nothing but rubber.
Come,
Like,
this
no,
Sunday,
it's the,
Sunday.
it's the
Watch the boiler.
It's the
versus
Batmobile.
The dragon.
It's the Batmobile from
Ooh.
Dark Knight.
Oh, duh, fucking Zoro would be like a 3-wheeler, like an ATV,
Oh yeah, because three
3
swords,
wheels. Yeah.
Tricycle.
Three wheels.
You see, he's the car from the Who Framed Roger Rabbit ride at Disneyland, where you just spin it around and it turns
my
in any
God.
direction you want.
That'd be amazing. Sanji,
Sanji-
it would have to be really horny, like the Bang Bus. Or
No, he's the
something.
pussy wagon from Kill Bill.
Ed beat me to it. I was gonna say he's some sort of like snobby fancy car that everyone gets like, check it out. I got the
I got this McLaren. It gets 5 miles to the gallon.
Oh no, he'd be a Lamborghini Diablo. It's got the crazy like
Diablo.
yeah, that's
Diablo
like that's
John.
totally a yeah, and also it's totally like a compensation car. It's got the
Yeah,
it's got the doors that are funky, like the funky doors that are like
yeah.
the vertical doors.
yeah.
Enaru would be a Tesla.
Who's a character that looks cool but ultimately sucks?
Ace.
I thought Enaru was supposed to be cool though. That's the problem.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
then I guess
Well,
Ace
I mean,
is Ace is a
He is a
DeLorean. then.
villain. No, I was gonna say Toki's a DeLorean.
Ah,
Oh, I see.
That's good.
very clever.
Well, she's the Back to the
Toki,
Future
you're
DeLorean.
telling me-
It's differently. It's different. DeLorean is ultimately like the shittiest car on Earth, which is
Lord Odin, you're telling me
The thing that
you
gets
married
lost.
a time machine made out of a DeLorean? Yeah, my wife's a DeLorean. She's cute. I love her. Sorry, I don't know.
it's fucking a DeLorean.
Someone has to be a pickup truck. Who's a pickup truck?
Well, that was Sanji's pussy wagon.
Would
Pickup truck.
would Blackbeard be a garbage truck?
Take out the garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're sticking, but I realize like we've been sticking with cars. You know, we got planes, trains, and other
Automobiles. Astro Train.
You could be both.
Yeah,
Would anyone be a
Enero
train?
would be an arc. He'd turn into a flying arc. He'd turn into the
The Maxim.
Like Maxim.
Maxim. Yeah.
But that's not fun. You know, because that's easy. Because everyone would
Oh.
just turn into their ships. That's why I said like
Fine.
let's avoid using boats.
I mean, it's not really a boat technically. It's a flying.
Though
Bon
Clay would be one of those swan boats that are at the park.
like a duck boat,
Yeah.
a little paddle boat,
Yeah, a little paddle boat.
and then be at the park. I don't like going to the park. For one thing, too many fat children.
Okay.
I think that's plenty.
All right.
We got some mileage out of that.
Let's see what's next. Salem says, Sengoku is the only Marine who is stated to have Conqueror's Haki. Why do you think so few Marines have that Haki? And what does that say about Sengoku?
Because not all Marines are good people.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're not going to be a conqueror if you're just serving in some other man's army.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I was just thinking about that. I was like, it's sort of like that's the ultimate like manifestation of like the desire to go out and do these great things, and it's that's kind of antithetical to the Marines are there to maintain order specifically. So
yeah, I think
Douglas Bullitt sure didn't have good reasons, but
I think ambition is part of it, right? Like the greater the ambition, the greater the Haki, I guess. And everybody that we've seen with Conqueror's Haki has a pretty lofty goal, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it'd be like a really annoying like game of like freeze tag or something, where just a bunch of random Marines would be like, Conqueror's Haki. He's like, no, I'm on base.
Yeah.
Can't get me. Oh, I use Conqueror's Haki. No, you can't use your Conqueror's Haki. I already used my Conqueror's Haki. It would be really annoying.
That's why Aka Inu is pissed off all the time, because he doesn't have Conqueror's Haki.
Mm-hmm.
How come I don't have Conqueror's Haki?
That makes me wonder if it's like, does that make it more likely that like, say, Kobe could develop that? Because I mean, he does technically have, well, I don't know if he's necessarily stated it, but you could see him as being like, he's the guy who wants to reform the Marines to like, to make them less of like a political entity and more actually serving like a set of good.
Like Fujitora, is that what you're talking about?
Kind of, yeah.
Kobe wants to drain the swamp.
Sure, yeah.
It's not okay. All right, next question comes from Usopp the Great, who says, how about a discussion on what is on everyone's mind after the sudden death of Kentaro Miura and his long-running story that is Berserk? I always wonder if I will live to see the end of One Piece, but what about Oda?
Oh, God. That's
so sad.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking. Berserk was one of those series that I definitely would catch up on every couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I am probably due for a reread now. But I'll be honest, I think I'm like 10 volumes behind at this point. And I was always just kind of like thinking, oh, this guy's lucky. He's just going to do this for the rest of his life, and eventually we'll get to read all of Berserk and it'll be great. And obviously it makes you think about Oda and how, Shonen Jump is basically like, no, take all the time you need off, for breaks. Please don't die. We need you to, be our
our backbone.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like our moneymaker, our breadwinner, but at the same time,
it was 2013 or 14. That was the big wake up call.
Yeah,
I think that was 2014
with
when
the
he got
tonsillitis thing.
Yeah,
or the tonsillectomy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's scary at times to think about that sort of thing. I don't know. It's there were definitely times where like I would look back at when they were saying like, oh yeah, Berserk was running since 1989, and like you just sort of stop and think about it, like, oh my god, yeah, it has been running all this time. Like it never actually finished, because I read like till I don't know. I got close to catching up a while ago, like at volume like 16 or 18 or something like that, and obviously it's much longer than that at this point, but it was just sort of the thing where it was like, yeah, if you think that it's hard reading 2 chapters every 3 weeks or 3 chapters every 4 weeks with One Piece, like he was definitely doing that thing where, okay, we did another volume, now let's take off for a year or something like that. So it was really slowing down, and I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much about like if he had tried to just keep going as fast as possible, like how much worse it could have been for his health. But yeah.
All right, got one more question here from Johnny, who says, do you think we'll ever get another episode like 957? If so, which chapter do you think it'll be? And 957 was the big news and incident that will affect the Seven Warlords. So it's a Reverie interlude in Wano. I kind of hope we do get another one because there is stuff from the Reverie that hasn't been in the anime yet.
Well, I think that it also depends on like, is this arc following a 3-act structure or a 4-act structure? You know, I think I think it's contingent on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see him like jumping away for anything less than an arc transition. But and we didn't get one at the end of last chapter, so I don't know. I don't know if that means anything, but yeah.
All right. Well, if that's all we got, we can move on into the anime recap and then the World Top 100 segment, and then we can round off the show. So, you guys ready?
Sure.
Okay.
This is the anime recap for episode 975, The Castle on Fire, The Fate of the Kozuki Clan. I'm your host Sam, and today with me we have, joining us once again, we have Edward.
Thank you.
And joining us today is United States of America's own Steve Yurko.
Thank you.
What is this, G Gundam?
Let's get things started.
Yes, let's get them started. Title card, 2 minutes and 14 seconds, so no recap at all.
Yeah.
I don't think they needed it.
We remember. Mm-hmm. The people of Wano are mourning Kozuki Oden. They feel very sorry for how they treated him in his final days. Orochi starts shooting into the crowd and just in general is throwing a fit. We see some curtains drop as if there's an act break, and then they open again to transition into night on the Kozuki Castle, where Momo and Hiyori are now sleeping. And
we get a mini flashback then too of Odin giving Toki the message.
Yeah, we get a couple of like post-mortem flashbacks of Odin and things that Odin did and said before his death. Toki
How do you
remembers
get his swords? I always thought about that.
How did
he was
get his
captured
swords?
with them, I presume, and then he just passed them to her through the wall there.
I guess.
I mean, they wouldn't detain him. Yeah, they wouldn't.
I guess.
Well, then again, I guess like in this episode, Shinobu, like, got everyone else their weapons. Maybe that's. I don't know. I'm asking questions just to.
Shinobu got Odin's swords, gave them to Odin, and then Odin gave them to Toki. That makes sense.
Makes sense.
And Odin's letter is basically, if I fail, someone who can take down Kaido won't appear anytime soon. 20 years from now, a massive war that could divide the ocean in two will probably erupt. Toki, I want you to use your powers if I die. And she's reading this letter, and she tears up the letter. She's like, nope, that's ridiculous. And then also she remembers Odin passing Enma and Ame no Habakiri through the grates of the prison. He says, hey, give these to the kids, even though they're not old enough. And Toki seems to be taking this in stride. Odin asks, aren't you sad? I'm sentenced to death. And Toki says, oh, you're not going to die, are you? And Odin's just like, that's my wife. Now we got...
That's another sitcom, Ed, for the One Piece world.
Yeah.
That's my wife.
Yeah. You're talking about what Carrot and Zeus having their own sitcom earlier on?
I want to hear more about this.
What would you name it, Sam?
Carrot and Zeus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living in the big city.
One of the titles we came up with was Bunny Weather.
Bunny Weather?
Like sunny weather.
Yeah, I'll have to think about that one. So we get in the present, or the quote-unquote present day, present for the flashback. Cat, Viper, and Dog Storm are arguing. They're having a more serious argument than usual this time over, whether they should respect Odin's death by continuing to fight on, or whether they should just have a moment to get emotional and care about what happened.
Yeah, you were talking about this, I think, during last week's anime recap.
Yeah, I think this is what I was referring to. I think this is what
Yeah,
I was
that makes
looking
sense.
for. And yeah, here's where Shinobu appears and brings everybody their swords. And they're like, oh, hey, that's very convenient. Thank you. And then they start running. They start Naruto running through the woods. Shinobu asks Kinemon if she can be a retainer, and Kinemon says, well, we're all self-appointed anyway, so might as well. And some Beast Pirate attacks, and we get a cool Kinemon and Kiku tag team fight scene. Cat and Dog are still fighting. Cat Viper is accusing Dogstorm of being a spy, getting the spy theme back in our heads. And one of the numbers grabs them, although the number is just a big black shadow, so...
Very big. And this is... Kinemon's like, well, we don't have time to... no time to save them. Well,
yeah,
they'll be all right.
that does hit weird. We're like, oh, just let them... Just don't worry about them. We don't have time.
It's not don't worry about them. It's literally we can't do anything at all.
Right. Don't go help them. And then there's also Denjiro and Ashura fighting side by side against some beast pirates. And the group is gradually getting split up. And now we're with mostly the soon-to-be time travel group. And they're all crying about having to leave their friends behind. So that brings us to the eye catch of the episode, which is the first half is Odin, Roger, and Whitebeard sharing a drink. And then we come back from the commercial break, and it's ASL sharing a drink, Ace Sabo Luffy. So we have flaming arrows are lighting the castle down, lighting the castle in flames and burning it down. And Kaido, in his dragon form, is descending from the smoky clouds. And now there's a memory of Odin on the ship with Roger pirates and raising Momonosuke and throwing baby Momo like way too high. And you got Rayleigh being like the straight man. He was very worried about the kids' well-being. Like, that's too high, Odin. You're too reckless.
It's some good implied filler, as Zach would say.
Yeah. Odin and Momonosuke have their Lion King moment. You know, everything that the sun touches is yours. Or
It's a combination of a Lion King moment and like a Titanic moment because he's being held up.
yeah.
I was gonna say Kaido and Momonosuke have their own version of the Lion King moment later in this episode.
Yeah. And some memories of Odin trying to raise his son. Like, oh, what type of girl do you like? And Rayleigh's like, he's too young to talk like that. I love this scene of little baby Hiyori playing the shamisen. Odin's like, oh, it's a very nice song. Play it at my funeral. And then later in the bath, Hiyori's crying.
He's blaming Momo for making his sister cry.
Yeah,
Like,
don't
you
make your
did it.
sister cry. And then Odin realizes, oh wait, no, that was because of what I said. I'm sorry, I was just joking. So he does feel bad. And then in the quote unquote present day, Kaido just backhands Toki and like sends her flying and then grabs Momo by the neck and he's holding him over the edge of the castle. He's like, "What's your name?" And Momonosuke is he's afraid of the height. He has trouble saying his name. He's talking about how great his dad is, but when asked for his name, he chokes. He can't do it.
Kaido's also like, this is all rehearsed. Someone put these words in your mouth.
Yeah. He loses interest. He just tosses Momo to the side.
You're nothing like your father was at your age.
Yeah, he's just, I'll just burn you all with the castle.
Not it wouldn't even be fun killing you.
I do love this shot of when Kaido's like leaving, where he just sort of jumps off the edge and then disappears, but then like comes back in dragon form, all in the same shot.
But it's like you're seeing it out the window, so you don't even get to see like all of him. You just see like
Yeah,
parts
because like
of him.
you see his whole body as a human, and then he jumps, and then you just see like this massive dragon that you can like barely make out.
You can't even see the whole thing.
I'm trying to think of what that reminds me. It's a very is there like a scene in Aladdin like that? Or yeah, it's like Aladdin, like jumping off the ledge and then like coming up with the magic carpet.
Right. Yes. Yeah, I remember that.
That's what I was thinking. So the Akazaya reach the castle, and we more or less know how this story goes. Toki sends them forward into the future, and but keeps Hiyori and hands Hiyori to Kawamatsu, who didn't get sent to the future, And she's like, all right, Hiyori, just trust Kawamatsu. He'll get you through this. And then Toki bursts through the gate on a horse like Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time.
It was really cool. That's really cool looking. I like the bursting through the door.
Toki, remembering Odin again, talking about how, Odin's basically saying like, hey, the chosen one's going to show up in 20 years. So if you want to get to that point, just jump ahead. And Toki does not like that idea. She does not like the thought of jumping ahead alone without her family. Mm-hmm. And we have this old tiny granny comforting a kid out in the town. This is the same old granny from like earlier in the arc.
Yes, Sonny, we deserved all of this.
I've already forgotten what the sumo wrestler guy's name.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
What was his name? It was like something. It's Ushi Umi.
Oh, Urashima, right?
Urashima,
yes,
that's right.
Yeah,
Urashima.
Yeah, so like I think it was or Hold'em. It was Urashima or Hold'em. It was somewhere around there. We have this old granny who's like praying and like, Lady Toki would never have given up or whatever. And probably referring to the time she saw Toki show up in front of the fire and start giving a big speech. The classic warning to Orochi, you are the moon unaware of the dawn. Mm-hmm. She gets pierced by an arrow.
Yeah, right before she continues to live, right?
I mean, yeah, that's...
the blood pools on the floor and reflects the crescent moon. Poetic.
Yeah, she got shot by an arrow, but continues. Then we see the point of view of a rifle or a pistol, and she gets shot, and then she falls. And then I'm not really quite sure what happens next. Some blood is spilling out. She seems to be crying. She falls. I think she's gonna make it okay. She's like Odin-san, and she's like smiling and crying and bleeding to death. To be continued. General thoughts on this episode, you guys?
Steve?
I wasn't on for the last one, but I could tell that they had to really slow down the pace here.
But
I think this one felt a lot less recap. We did see kind of like the journey with Whitebeard and Roger again in bursts, or was that the previous episode? If I get things mixed up, I apologize. I watched them both back to back because I realized I totally missed last week's episode.
I don't think they covered a lot of old ground in this episode. I think it was all new stuff, at least.
Okay. I think it moved fine. I don't think it was like it I don't want to say run of the mill. Run of the mill seems to me. It just seems like this is your standard, get the story, continue the story episode. I just think the little flourishes with Toki, as violent and as uncomfortable as they are, I think were really good. And in my opinion, leaves things a little less ambiguous. Other than that, I don't know. It felt very true to the manga and wasn't taking too many interesting liberties, I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
It was fine. They were fine episodes.
Ed?
Yeah, that's basically sort of my opinion too. I thought the emotion, it was very well done with Toki's speech and how cool they made Toki look even in death. And yeah, these last 3 or 4 episodes have really been a downer. Like there's 2 episodes of Odin dying, and it starts sort of to get better for the characters after the flashback ends. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, this was an enjoyable episode. It'll be better when you watch it on when you're streaming through, you're rewatching, or on a disc. It'll, I don't know, episodes like this, they fit in well, but they don't, on a week-to-week basis, like, there wasn't anything spectacular in it other than, sad moments.
Yeah, I think I mostly agree. I think it was a fine episode. Whatever your takeaway is as far as the Toki theories goes, like this whole episode I'm watching and all the Toki Odin memories, it's just like a big red light, like, oh, we're supposed to come back to this later at the end of the arc, and like it's gonna be recontextualized in some way, even if it could be for all sorts of reasons. But this whole episode feels like something that's supposed to mean something new later, as far as Toki and Odin and how the time travel factors into the main plot and who Toki is as a character outside of this flashback. So yeah, those gears were turning throughout the whole episode. I like Toki, and I like seeing the story from her point of view a little more. So I feel like that was well done. As slight as the episode is overall, it's more of a, it's connecting the episode before and the episode that comes after.
Yeah. Right on.
All right. Anything else you guys want to say, or are we ready to move on to the next segment?
I am ready to go.
Let's keep on rolling.
All right. Thank you, guys.
We're live as Ed goes to get his power cord. We're going to probably be putting this on a future episode and just edit down this really, the fun part here at the beginning as I test out. This. Yeah, there we go. So my name is Zach. I'm joined with Alex. How's it going, Alex?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm here.
Yeah.
Ed said... I'm going to do this joke even though Ed's not here. Ed said I'd be back, and here I am. It took me like a week and a half to come back.
We knew
here
you'd
we all
be
are.
back.
We have Josh joining us. How's it going, Josh?
Hi, back and blonder than ever.
Congrats. We have Joe with us. How's it going, Joe?
It's going. I'm pretty all right.
And Stacy's here.
Hi.
Hi. And Ed is here, and he's wearing a very special hat, and that's all you have to know. So today we're going to go through the WT100 and our top 5 choices.
WTF?
Did I say WTF?
With Mark Maron.
No, I did.
So yesterday all of the One Piece news came out at exactly the same time. I don't know if you all noticed that. So there was. Did you guys watch the show, by the way, the WT100?
Oh yeah, I
show?
watched both of them.
Yeah.
I haven't had time to yet.
Yeah, it was a good hour of television.
Stacy, can you bring up the image that I'm going to ask you to bring up in like a second anyway for everyone
Hold
here?
on. I still have to find it, but
you
I will
haven't
get there.
Okay. Stacy's gonna get there.
Yes.
By the way, big thanks to Stacy for helping make these things possible. The video, especially, which is so beyond my capability.
But especially the
what
video.
I'm doing. But especially. So yeah, I guess we'll start out here. What were your guys' thoughts on the top 200? And Alex, I know you have certain particular opinions on that.
It's where's Django? Kuro
more
made
specific.
Kuro made the top 200. Mont Dore made the top 100. Where the fuck is Django?
Where the fuck
He's
is
way too
Django
far in the
Cook?
past.
So is Kuro. Django has been in more recent chapters than Kuro has by a lot.
Did Full Body make it in?
No.
Did Hina make it in? That's
Hina made the top 200, and I'm cool with that. She made the top 150, I think, which is great. She's a great character. But
Django.
where's Django? Where'd Django at? Pearl made it, so Steve's happy. But who the fuck cares about Steve?
Okay,
my boy was in number 2. Greg was doing a good job in creating drama there.
Yeah, I will say though that it really whoops the llama's ass that Robin made the top 10. Like that's
Isn't that the Winamp slogan?
It sure is.
Wheaties, breakfast champions.
That's right.
Cool. Yeah. So Ed, besides Zoro, were there any big surprises? When you were looking at that top list?
I honestly didn't think Nami would be in the top 5. I was surprised by her enduring popularity, but I guess just thinking about it, going back to her backstory, she's really been one of the most important characters in the series, and I think that her and Zoro have like the belief in Luffy over just about everybody else, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people gravitate towards them.
Josh, what about you? Takeaways, surprises?
I just felt kind of bad for Frankie.
Yes. Frankie and Brooke.
That's a big old bummer.
Yeah, he was so low that I forgot that I hadn't seen him on the list until I got there. Buddy, what are you doing all the way down here?
I have to look at this again.
Greg did bring up in our chat that he is number 28. Tetsujin 28, right? So that's kind of a perfect number for him, though.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean,
AKA Gigantor for the uninitiated.
Oh, I got it. Joe, what about you? Your thoughts on Law specifically?
He's still in the top 10, so I mean that's not a big surprise though.
Are you upset that Sanji and Nami and Zoro and Luffy beat him out?
No, not really. I'm especially happy with Nami because I think she deserves it.
Yeah, it was a surprise. I'm glad I didn't make a bet to shave my eyebrows and head over that, or give out my social security number.
I'll put it this way: I'm glad that Nami beat Sanji.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'm sure there's already a lot of fan art of that. Very specific.
Yeah, I actually saw one that was really cute. That of her stepping onto the third place like pedestal, and Sanji like holding his hand out, like, "Yes, your pedestal, my lady." It's very cute.
Well, before we get to that, Carrot, I think, was like the biggest.
Yes.
One of the biggest surprises in the top 10, at least.
People are very excited.
We call that an upset. We call that an upset, Zach.
And wait, how did
basketball business?
The plucky 16 seed.
Stacy, how did Greg put that? If you could show us. Specifically. I think it's. Yeah. Okay. It's not the specific image I was thinking of, but I like that.
Furries. Yeah. It's very good.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why I just completely lost my train of thought there. I'm sure I have a reason. Oh, there you go. Perfect. On the bottom, let's not forget about the furries. It's like Greg's here with us talking about furries the entire time.
Keep that for later, I think.
Don't forget about the furries.
So are there, I'm looking at the top 100 right now. Is there anyone who does not deserve to be in that top 100 in your opinion?
Half of the Charlottes.
Yeah. Who?
Here, I'm trying to find who's the first person who absolutely does not deserve a place.
I need that. Oh, there they are. Hey, look at that. Let's see.
I think the top 20 are all, like, maybe I wouldn't put them there, but they all definitely deserve a place. In I'm very happy about Yamato. I think we all are here. He, like, really, and it seems to be like an international effort. See, he's right over there.
Okay, I'm gonna come out and say it. Or get out of here.
Really? Yeah.
That's fair.
What are you talking about? He folds clothes. Everyone loves a man that folds clothes.
He's an underrated funny. He's a funny guy.
You're not
He's
in
a funny
One Piece,
member.
Alex.
He has a funny guy. I should be. Montdor being on there is absolutely ridiculous. I'm looking at the list. Honestly, I'm pretty cool with mostly everybody else on that list being there, and it makes sense. But Montdor,
I wish
Cracker.
I wish Shushu and Whoop Slap could switch places. Shushu should be much higher.
I like Whoop Slap where he is.
I like Whoop Slap where he is. Why not? Shushu could be in. Let's see, whose spot is the highest that I.
Not just because I got to play him on the last read-through stream that sung.
That's true. You did a really good job. You played Shushu and both of his owners.
Yes.
Both of them.
So I think Namule or Namule. I think that's a weird. That's a weird.
He's the fishman
I
from
feel like this is
Rogers.
just a meme vote, though.
Division 8, right?
I can't discount
Yeah.
meme votes.
That's true. I agree with Joe.
I can. There are too many. There are too many meme votes. I'd say.
There are a lot.
I think who's the highest? Ben Beckman doesn't need to be a 57. He's fine, but what has he done for me lately? Put Shushu there. Shushu's done a lot for me lately.
I think
and especially
should be
Ed
much
voicing
higher.
Shushu.
Evenkov should be higher.
I agree.
Evenkov's fantastic, but and he was recently in it. He was
Rockstar. Rockstar is one of the ultimate meme characters in this.
I'm completely okay with that particular meme character. Perospero, though, that what do you think about that, Zach? Perospero cracking the top 100.
Oh yeah, I love the way his name is
much.
spelt. I'll say, Sparrow.
But he's done so much more than Rockstar. He's so deliciously despicable.
Yeah.
He's deliciously despicable in the way that a hemorrhoid is delicious. He's not.
Perospero dog in it. Am I right?
Yeah.
Adil said that Namule ranked higher than Belmare, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So this is the thing, and it's really and I guess an interesting thought about the popularity polls. Yeah, it's very weird how some certain flashback characters get. Look, Corazon, who has not been seen. I love Corazon, don't get me wrong, but he has not been seen since his flashback because, spoiler alert, he is no longer alive. Is very highly rated, but there are a lot of other flashback characters who are not here at all.
It's funny because I saw a post that apparently Corazon only made it there because of all the Japanese fans. Like no one else voted for him in any other country.
Really,
it was like all Japan.
Actually, Stacey, can you bring up the international ones? And I want to see if we see Corazon anywhere else, or if he's specifically big in Japan. Is he big in Japan? We all wish we were. These are tiny little.
Oh, yeah, he's 10th
here.
place.
He was in 10th place in Japan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There he is. I'm sure that helped. But, I guess he's in none of the others, right? Yamato is... That was interesting because they even talked about how Yamato wasn't huge in Japan, but was huge everywhere else. And look, Africa, number 4. Middle East, number 7. He was number 10 in Europe. 7.
Sorry, I just keep looking at all these Namis in the 1 and 2 slots, which is
unbelievable,
absolutely awesome. Yeah,
but look, it's North America, Oceania specifically, Europe, Latin America, and Africa, in the middle, everywhere but Japan.
Okay, so I'll put it into context. So Corazon in total got 157,167 votes. In Japan, he got 111,590 votes. So that's most.
Wow.
That's insane.
So, I mean, a lot of flashback characters really didn't do very well outside of that, and that was just because of Japan then.
Speaking of regional differences, let's look at the number 1. Look at, here, over here. Wait, I could do this with my finger. Luffy. Look at Luffy, right? Look at the Asia one specifically. Look at that number, 654,000 votes versus in Japan, where he eked it out over Zoro.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. And Robin, look at Oceania. Whatever they're doing in Australia, keep it up. That's fantastic stuff.
The taste down under is just unmatched.
Nami, Robin, Yamato, Carrot, then Zoro, Luffy, Sabo. Oh, then there's Hancock.
I think Nami and Robin would be right at home in Australia. Anyway.
Yeah. Let's bring up the other one again. Stacey is our meteorologist. I need the little clicker thing they use. So I'm trying to see if there's anyone else here.
Basil Hawkins cracking the top 100.
Why is Geen at 84? Like, he's
an emotional story.
People want him to come back.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Everyone is like, he's one of the few characters who explicitly said, "I'll be back."
Maybe people are hoping that if they vote for him enough, he will come back.
I do wonder if the reason that Cracker is on there is because of his appearance in the Tokyo Tower show, where he has
tremendous abs.
Yeah, tremendous abs. He's absolutely
They-
fabulous.
They all have tremendous abs in those shows. Because also seeing the
They're painted
USJ,
on.
Yeah.
I guess maybe some of them.
They're
Not the
accented.
Nami I saw at USJ. That would be shocking. Anyway, you've just broken my dreams here, Joe. That there are these impeccably. Anyway, what was I trying to say? Oh, so Oda's going to be drawing a color spread featuring maybe all of the top 50. So I'll ask: is there anyone in particular you're very excited to see included in this color spread?
Who hasn't he drawn in a while?
I love how
that cracked the
Josh
top
is
50?
completely covered here, by the way.
It'd be fun to
Oh,
see
no, it's great.
all
It's like
these
a
characters
vacation.
with Garp.
I'm actually
Going
kind of
Merry,
like
actually. The Going
Yeah.
Merry. They
Yeah.
mentioned on the show
Yeah.
that a
Different
new
coloring.
image of the Going Merry will be that'd be cool.
that is cool. Yeah, I'm honestly like top 50. Whoop slap. I'm excited about that. Like I'm looking at this list of characters, and there's nobody here that I'm like, oh well, he hasn't
Aokiji.
drawn
Curious.
these guys in a while. Yeah, Aokiji would be interesting too.
I was saying it'd be fun to see Garp with all these characters.
Garp.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Let me see. Garp. I mean, I love Garp generally, but we've seen him a lot. In color, I think.
Bentham and
There's a lot
BB.
of there's a lot of Wano characters in this top 50 as
Makes
well.
sense.
We've seen a lot lately.
Ulti.
Bon Clay number 22. I didn't realize he was that high. That's really cool. I don't know why I didn't see that before.
Katakuri and Shirahoshi, two very big characters.
Sure, Hoshi's like
Yeah.
3 times the size of Katakuri, who's
He is.
5
Not
times
to-
the
is,
size
to
of
scale.
Katakuri.
Not to
Yeah.
scale.
I'm trying. Is there anyone here like we haven't seen the color scheme for?
Let's
In
see.
the manga, I'm trying to think.
I don't think so.
Don't think so. Yeah.
I'd
mean,
like for him
more-
to do a color spread of the bottom 10.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be
I'm-
fun.
I
With
want
his
to
left
see.
hand.
Yeah, I in earnest want to see I want to see the numbers for everybody. I want to see if anybody got 0 votes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you
that'd
just
be
want to know how many
interesting.
votes Django got. And maybe
He
it's a
probably
vote
got
for this.
approximately as many as I gave him. Plus, he cracked the hottest characters in Europe one day. I remember that.
Big
There was
fan.
some the hot character. There's got some interesting results usually.
They were
I know
spicy.
people were scientifically tracking. They were very spicy. They were scientifically tracking. Well, this one got this and this and this. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna wait until it's over. Killer didn't make the top 50 though, so we're not going to see a beautiful color spread of just Killer sitting there.
Yeah,
with
almost
Dr.
cracked
Hero
the
look
top
made
50.
67, so that's good, but
That's good for
Wouldn't-
him. Yeah.
Yeah, good for him.
he is one of the few flashback characters who got that high.
So, what was the meme behind Rockstar? Because I know we have our own meme in that who is Rockstar? Who remembers
Yeah.
Rockstar?
Well, but people were speculating that he's related to Rocks.
Mm.
I
Oh.
mean,
I don't know if I believe that. I mean,
what if
but
he is Rocks?
He's too young. Yeah, whatever.
Hiding in plain sight.
That'd be interesting
Logic.
if they did a There's an episode of The Simpsons, like a more recent one, where Frank Grimes' son comes back or something like that to get
I mean, like
revenge.
almost 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah, and I kind of hope Rockstar is that sort of situation where, like, I don't know, he's trying to exact revenge, but he just is he's just a big dud. I don't know.
Once again, I would recommend reading that John Schwartzwelder interview where he explains just how Grimy had it coming.
It's so great.
I think you just said exactly his answer to that.
I wanted to sidebar and kind of make fun of the people who are trying to cancel him because he's conservative.
Is he?
But I'm like,
is he even saying anything?
but that's the thing.
I think he's just crazy. Just generally.
I mean, yeah, he's conservative, but he doesn't say shit. He's an old crank who keeps to himself in his diner booth in his house. Like,
it's
he
two
also-
diner booths.
he also wrote like undisputably the best episodes of The Simpsons. So like, he gets
And
I
his
think,
novels are funny as hell. And
Yeah,
really
he
easy
gets
to read.
an
Yeah.
absolute pass.
Yeah.
But anyway,
He's the one person who gets a pass.
yeah, John Schwartzwelder also in the top 100.
Oh yeah, there it is.
No. That'd be great. Yeah, it's Pell.
You know, I'm looking now. Vista, I
59.
don't think deserves a spot there, and Namuel obviously does not. But I'm sure there's meme memology behind that. Wiper, I'm very pleasantly surprised with. The single Kung Fu Dugong, and I wonder which it was.
Dugong.
No, it's the one
Yeah.
from that 3D. It was the 3D trap coaster. Did anyone else watch that?
No. What's that?
It was. I think it was a featurette that was related to the One Piece 3D Straw Hat Chase movie.
Oh yeah, the very okay movie.
Right. Well, no, but they had a short with like I think it was testing on the 3D and the CGI, but there was Kung Fu Dugongs in that, and they brought them back for that one.
That's fun. I like that.
Yeah, it's one of the little lost pieces of One Piece video. You know, like the 360, like the Cinerama thing with Eneru and
Frieza.
Oh, yeah.
Dragon Ball crossover from like 15 years ago.
Yeah. We have some cool Eneru trivia coming up in next
Circle Vision
month's
360.
Fight
That's
Together.
what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Let me see here. So Big Mom making the top 100 is awesome. She should be higher, I think.
Should be higher.
Drake, I guess he's been in the story a lot. Like, obviously, anybody who's in the story is going to kind of take precedence over a lot of other folks. That's just how these character polls have worked in the past.
Kawamatsu, I'm happy cracked the top 100 because I love Kawamatsu.
Too. Yeah, I think Cat Viper barely missed the top 100.
He's like
he was 101.
101. Yeah.
Let's see here.
Oh, Sam's going to be joining us.
Oh, Monet. Everybody loves Monet.
I liked her design at least.
Fine.
Yeah, Monet's design was the best part about her.
She's fine.
I know. I liked her.
Her powers were cool too.
I liked her voice in the anime that they had for her as well.
I think I'm more disappointed in Zoro when I think of Monet too.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
what is it? It's like PTSD. There are certain characters that it makes me remember the bad things other characters did, and it's not necessarily their fault, but I'm like, I can't think about that specific. I can't think about Queen Orica Vacusuck right now.
Maddie,
did she not make the top 200
in the chat? That Drake was top 10 in the Middle East.
Well, yeah, they talked about. I think
because
they talked about
Turkey.
Right.
Yeah.
He apparently the real Francis Drake saved 200 Turkish slaves in the Caribbean Sea back in 16.
I thought they maybe really loved dinosaurs in the Middle East, but
I was gonna say it's a great design. So
yeah,
it is. That was Ed. Is that still your favorite supernova, or has that changed? Because I know just based solely on his design.
Technically,
yeah,
Zoro.
it is technically Zoro.
The others, the rest of them.
Man.
No, look at this list. Where's Capone? Speaking of
Maddie brought that up
top
too.
tier
Yeah.
supernova.
Yeah,
That
Capone might be my
is a
favorite
sub.
supernova after Whole Cake. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it's Sam.
Sam.
Welcome.
There he is.
Well,
how's it going? Oh, you cut your hair.
Going.
I don't even think I knew you cut your hair.
That was a long time ago already. I got Mike and Ike's.
No
cool.
Starburst?
No, it's an even number day.
Mike and Ike's Brace's worst enemy. If you've ever had Braces,
Skittles are pretty bad.
Oh no, I'm sorry. All my baby teeth were fruit roll-ups. Those got rid of those quick. It was just like someone asked earlier what it would take to name my kid Rockstar, I think. I might be wrong. Oh, there it is. Wow, how did you know exactly?
Wow.
That'd be a good middle
That
name.
was Kid Rockstar Logan? Yeah. Rockstar is a good middle name.
but is it Jewish?
Yes.
You always have a separate Hebrew.
Yeah, you have separate. That's the cool thing. I got to choose I got to choose 4 names, so that's good.
Wow, how Brazilian of you!
The more I get, the better. How much to
Be
do?
like name your price.
Someone asked me earlier, and $300,000 is the answer because that's my student debt, and that will wipe it out, and that's all I want.
It feels low, Zach.
300,000 Rockstar. That's a pretty cool middle name. I don't think I'm losing out.
Just
No
the
one's
middle
losing
name?
out.
Oh, that's not
Yeah,
bad.
just
Sounds like
middle
something
name.
Nick Cage would do.
Yeah. I thought the first name he wanted to name my kid, which that seems a little too far. Hey kid, you're doing great. You're doing great, kid.
We're doing our top
Sam.
fives as well.
Yeah, we're gonna do our top fives in a second. But Sam, we haven't really asked you. Are there any of the top 100 you're super psyched about, super surprised about? And I know your answer, but I'm still gonna ask it.
Why wasn't Caribou in the top 200?
Okay.
You know what?
Get him out. Get him out. That's it.
We need
Weird.
the
I wonder
list.
why.
This is some of them.
Oh, it's
Caesar
great
did
because
make top 100.
did he make the top 100? See? Oh yeah, he did.
did.
I saw him there, and I was gonna say, oh.
Could have been higher.
A lot of people have been
But he's in there.
surprised how low Kinemon is, given everything that's happened in Wano.
Yeah.
Kinemon's kind of a straight man in all of this, although not in that one chapter.
Not in Punk Hazard for a lot of it.
That's true. He did perfect speaking out of farts.
And he also did that wonderful Doflamingo cosplay to the four people while going through the castle.
Yes,
Yamato
that
is
was
like
a good one.
carrying the Wano crowd, I think.
Yeah.
Ulti is almost made the top 50. That's surprising.
she looks like she was made for popularity polls, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Hiku and Izo doing the same is that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's like everyone who was voting for one voted for both of them.
Oh yeah, that's a very odd coincidence. That's good for them. Glad
And
the-
Fiore.
Yeah.
There are definitely a lot of new characters. Sam, who are you most disappointed by on the? Who do you wish was on? Who was snubbed? Who do you wish was on the list?
I did just say it, didn't I?
Oh, Caesar was there. Oh,
You got
Caribou.
everything you wanted
It was
with
on there.
No,
Carrot.
okay,
Like,
okay. Let's do our top five.
Well, no,
since we're gonna
he's
do this.
he's talking about Kami.
Kami's
Kami
also not
is.
in there for some reason.
That is a weird one.
That is a
Kimi
weird one. Yeah, Kimi. I love
actually,
it.
I was thinking
Roger.
Hachi as
Roger's
well.
pretty high.
Yeah, Hachi's
Oh
really good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my top five. I purposely try not to include too many Straw Hats because I feel like it could really get bogged down in Straw Hats. So I did Luffy because I think he deserves every vote he gets. Kuzan because he's like the epitome of awesome for me, and he's always on my top five somewhere. Sorry. Here we go now. Big Mom, after our discussion of her last time I was on, she is a crazier mom version of Luffy, so I love that. Big News Morgans, I mean, if you listen to the show, you know why that. And Kuma is just like a mystery wrapped in an enigma, or however that quote goes, and that's why I love him. I love how
Wrapped in
Alex's
a tortilla.
eyes are just peering out. Wait, no.
Trapped.
Help me!
Alex,
I've
what-
been cask of Amontillado.
Alex, what are you want to go through your top five? Or they're not
I-
here, are they?
They're
You're
not-
above
they're not
Kelly's.
here. We should go through the ones that are
Oh,
are
yeah.
here on the screen though.
Alex, why don't you go through Kelly's and try and give us reason for why you think each of those are there?
Oh, this
Sure,
is not her
uh,
updated one.
No, she updated it with her number one is Sanji plus the Calicoach,
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Calicoach deserved a spot.
which I think would have been a wonderful meme vote. Well, if
Yeah.
you've ever met Kelly, she is a hardcore Sanji fan, as
Shocking.
are a lot of folks. on
As
the
you can tell
podcast.
from this list just here, because Josh is sitting right above Steve's list.
That's
there.
right. That's right. And Kelly is also a big Robin fan. She's cosplayed Robin before. So naturally, Robin is her number two. Perona is Kelly's number three, followed closely by Chopper and Nami bringing up number five. And
None of that shocks me.
I think Kelly likes
None
the
of that shocks
Perona's
me.
fashion. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
no,
yeah.
for sure.
I mean, I know what Kelly likes, and it does not surprise me at all that it's these five characters and
Yeah.
Calicoach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh, do you want to go through yours? I see yours down
Sure.
there.
Yeah, I mean, number one is Zoro. What I did was I made the list of big men in Robin. So number one is Zoro. Just I have a tattoo. I have the the tattoo of him, so it felt obligatory. Oh, it's all twisted.
Nice.
Dope.
Number two is Robin because she's just the coolest, man. Like that's aspirational to be like smart and cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then number 3 is Katakuri. I did see he's the highest ranking baddie on the list. He's a nice guy. I'm waiting for that redemption.
He's Luffy's rival.
Yeah. 4 is Law. Enough said. And 5 is Smoker. He's also big and nice. That's kind of the theme that
I almost
working
put
with here.
Smoker. Yeah,
Did Smoker crack the top 100?
Yeah,
I think he's like 20 something.
We only,
Oh,
by the
nice.
way, we only had limited choices for these. They only let you pick out of the top 200, so we couldn't put.
They only let you pick out the top 100.
Really?
100.
Oh yeah, because you're picking your top 5. Actually, that makes sense. So keep that in mind. We couldn't put characters like I don't know. What's the square jaw guy's name that Steve always talks about in Logtown?
Mashikaku.
Mashikaku. Thank you. So we couldn't put that in our top 5.
Also, Smoker's number 27.
Good. I'm glad he cracked it. Smoker is a great character.
Yeah, he's
Smoker would have made it. I think Punk Hazard kind of, when they switched bodies, kind of that's the only part of like, could have done a little. Could have done that a little more.
Sam, do you want to talk about yours?
Yeah, Sam, talk about yours.
Mine?
Yeah.
Well,
It's up in
clearly
the
it's a
corner.
cast of winners.
Joe, I'm sorry you have to be so close to his cast of winners.
Right.
I mean, I like them all too. So
So obviously,
Do you want to
number-
explain them, or you're just gonna leave it there?
What's to explain? You guys have questions for me?
All right, so it's Carrot, Caesar, Luffy, Kuzan, and Koala, and I approve of those. Why is Carrot your number 1? That's the question. And also, Gabe had a question. You must be so happy that it made the top 10 since you have her at number 1. So
I was shocked.
explain.
Like, I think in the midterm she was like 17 or something. So I just wanted her to like go up a spot. You know, like I was did not expect her to actually like make the top 10. I mean, sometimes it's just nice to have a thing that you're known for, you know.
Yeah, reputation. Yeah.
Sam's the
I
carrot
know-
guy. We dangle a carrot in front of you and you follow it.
A figure of Carrot on
Yeah.
a treadmill. That's how he gets up every day. Okay, I guess there's nothing to say about that. Joey put
hold on one
Yeah.
second. Maddie in the chat is asking, why does Sam like Aokiji so much? Oh, there it is.
that's a good question.
I think there's a couple of characters that I think are just like all around greatly like written characters. Like they like every new thing you learn about them both like makes sense, but also adds a new dimension to them. Like I think Crocodile's like that. I think Kuma's like that.
Mhm.
I think Aokiji's like that, and I like Aokiji as this guy who's like his story is that like when he was a young Marine, he was it was like hot-blooded justice was his thing, and then like Ohara happened, and now he's just like I just can't possibly give a fuck anymore. But then his passion reawakens again post time skip, and there's something that makes a lot of sense about him to me. I think he's cool. I think he's interesting. I think he's always like kind of developing in interesting ways.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think of all pre-time skip to post-time skip, he probably has the coolest upgrade in design.
Yeah, he looks
because
awesome.
there's a lot of downgrades, but I think he looks badass. I love Josh processing this. Like
There's a lot of downgrades.
His prosthetic ice legs.
Yeah.
He has the prosthetic ice leg or arm or both.
Both.
It was
leg.
Both?
Or both?
Okay.
It was just a leg.
I think it's just a leg.
A big
Somebody's
scar.
lost an arm.
He has a
and
big
leg, but-
scar, I think, through his.
Yeah,
But
that's-
when he got introduced in film Zed, and he's
Yeah.
a very crucial character in that. That was in the onsen. It was all great.
He's
That was all
walking
great.
the earth.
He's walking the earth. I relate to that. Oh, there's Kelly's updated version, by the way. There's the Calicoach.
And then Koala was like the first like that was the first character that was like this is my waifu for One Piece. Like that was
Not Kami?
No, like I grew to love Kami later, I think, or just like on revisits. I was like, man, she's cute.
Koala has that same thing that Robin has, I think, that Josh really described well.
Yeah,
where you
she
got
has
the
like a
looks
je ne
and
sais
you,
quoi. She's
yeah,
over
you
it.
got,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah,
she's,
and like
she's smart.
the
She's martial artist. She's cool. She,
yeah,
has
and
a
like the
hat.
story of like you've seen
Has a hat?
the hat is important, but just like
Her
having seen her
backstory
as
is-
like
yeah.
having her seen her as like a child and like how kind of fucked up that was, and now seeing like she's found her place. She's found a place where she's happy, and like it's like almost like you see the stark contrast. It's not like Robin where it's like you see the transition. You more just have to kind of assume it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's cool. Like she just comes out of that was the bigger surprise of that chapter, I think, for us. Like we all knew Sabo was alive, though it was shocking that he showed up in that moment. But like Koala,
Yeah,
we're like,
Koala was
whoa,
like
where
the
did that come
perfect like
from?
cherry
Yeah.
on top to the Sabo twist.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't know, for some reason like Oda drawing like short-haired girls with hats. He does it right.
That seems
like,
to be
it just works.
A winning
you know?
combo, yeah.
Sam has a winning.
It's his
combo there.
specialty as far as I'm concerned.
What a great freeze! It froze on you just perfectly describing that.
You guys mind if I go next? Because I do have to.
Yes, yeah. Ed, do you have Ed's available there, Stacey?
This one.
Oh,
There you
yeah,
go.
there we go.
right in front of him. Perfect.
There.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Hey, that's fun.
So yeah, number 5, I had Big Mom, and this is sort of the same reason as Zach did, but I've grown to love her more as a character. Like every time she shows up, she does something cool, and she has a greater depth of, I think, emotion and a deeper connection to, I guess, the overall world of One Piece. And I don't know, she has this attitude about her that it is very Luffy-like you were saying. And I just want to see more of her. Like I could deal with Kaido being out of the series after this, but I'd like Big Mom to keep in there because she has so much. There's so much to her that could still be used. Let's see. Next, I had Blackbeard, who I love mostly because of he represents like Luffy, but dark. It's like what's the opposite of Luffy? What's the philosophical difference there? Like who could be more different than Luffy? Like and Oda just introduced that like perfectly with the cherry pie and the meat.
But they still have that
Mocktown.
connection in being like pirates and having a romanticized idea of what that means.
Yeah.
Right. And let's see.
But it shows that you can relate when you relate to your enemies. There's something kind of
That's
cool
scary,
and
yeah.
different about that. It is scary, yeah.
That's all. It's like why we think the same way. Why do you believe different things than I do? What's wrong with you? Why are you like that? Anyway, next I have Nico Robin. She's the best. She's smart. She's cool. She always has the answer. And she's got like the weird cute thoughts thing going on in her head, which I always love to see.
The demented
like
cutesiness.
like her love of like cute things, but they're also kind of weird and stuff like that. And she's beautiful. And Luffy, Luffy is the heart of the series. Luffy's like he's the beating soul. He's the ethos of One Piece. He's the ultimate freedom guy. He just wants to rock out with his Hawaiian shirt.
I thought that was going in a different direction. For some reason.
No. But number 1 is obviously Zoro. Zoro's cool. Zoro's the fucking coolest. He does stuff no human should be able to, and even in a series like One Piece where everyone is superhuman, his feats are human. Like everyone else has powers, he just has his strength.
Yeah.
And I don't know. His unwavering belief in Luffy, I think, is probably the most attractive thing about him. He doesn't necessarily want to be the man, but he wants to believe in something, and he believes in Luffy, so he found his thing, and he's going to be the strongest for it. I love that guy.
Before
you
go, Ed,
I love your fucking One Piece takes, Ed. They're my favorite.
It's about ideas.
Yeah,
You gotta stand for something. What do these characters stand for?
I forget if I mentioned this on the air, but Ed, when he gave his best man toast at my wedding, did this like One Piece line, and Erica, my wife, still talks about it because it's like it was a very good speech and it was like very deep, and so he's very good at doing that, especially with One Piece stuff. Before you go, Ed, you said how many posters do you have around the room? How many calendars?
In this room, I have 9, and there's 4 in the other room.
Okay.
So since
the question is, what's today's date?
May 6th. It's my dad's birthday.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday to your dad.
Today's the 6th. Okay. I thought it was the 5th again for some reason.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Well, we're talking about the May 5th releases for this. So, Ed, thank you for joining us for this.
I got a few more minutes. I'll hang out for a second.
Okay. Do you have Joe's available? It might cover her face though.
Yeah. Oh, we still have Steve. Oh, we have a bunch.
We have a lot. Yeah, we have a lot.
I do have Joey's complete list once we get to his because of the limited selection. Not his complete list.
1 sec. Get back to that.
Okay, we could let's do Joey's. Let's do Joey's while we have it open, and Stacy will get Joe's. Alex, you want to go? Do you want to do this and explain what's going on with our good friend Joey Weiser?
Sure. Joey's got a very eclectic taste when it comes to One Piece characters, and he did mention when we all made these that due to the limited selection, he couldn't have everybody in his top 5 that he wanted to. So I did ask him separately, like, who would you have in your top 5 that wasn't on there, and he said Magellan. And maybe Chaton. Maybe Chaton. And Chaton makes sense because the actor modeled for Chaton is Kia Shiatsumi, who plays Torasan, star of the Torasan films, which are Joey's absolute favorite, which make complete sense. And he said that Cat Viper 2 would probably be on that list, but he also likes Jinbei and Buggy, so it works out. So number 5 for him is Jinbei, followed by Buggy. Completely makes sense because coming from a heavy Toriyama background, Buggy I think exemplifies a lot of really great humor in regards to that. And Kizaru, of course, I believe is the reason that Joey ended up finding the Truck Yaro movies because they're based off of Kuniya Tanaka. He is. Yeah, Borsellino himself is based off of the actor Kuniya Tanaka, who recently passed away.
Yeah.
Second is Tashigi. Really great character who doesn't get enough play, I think. So really great to see her up there.
I think Joey has implied that Tashigi is waifu.
Yes.
Implied? It's pretty explicit.
I don't know if Joey would say. I don't know if that's Joey's choice of words, but
yeah.
Does Joey not use the word waifu? Does he not believe in waifus?
I'm not sure I've ever heard him say the word waifu, but
Stacy, I do know. The question is, does he believe in what Greg believes in? And that is,
yes.
I'm just hoping this could pop up immediately as I say it.
There you go.
Doesn't get old. Yeah.
No.
And for number 1, Joey has Gaimon. And I do know that the first issue of Jump that featuring One Piece that Joey had was the Gaimon issue. So I think his first experience with One Piece was Gaimon adjacent. Also, Gaimon's a great character. Very fun, like really exemplifies what's so weird and cool about One Piece.
Yeah, I'm always waiting for that Gaimon chapter to like come back in a big way.
Well, we got the Sarfunkel joke out of it, so I think.
Yeah, we did get the Sarfunkel joke.
Well, because
that
it feels
really
like
was huge.
You know, if Oda wasn't adamant about the One Piece being a real thing, like it feels so strongly like it's foreshadowing the One Piece just like being taken already or not being there or something.
Yeah.
Well, I
gotta
also
go, guys. See you later.
Bye, Ed.
Bye, Ed.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I will say, I think Gaimon exemplifies quarantine life. Oh no, now we're perfectly off.
Well, I think the one that we haven't covered on this particular one is Steve's.
Yes. Who volunteers to be Steve? I was hoping for silence. That was perfect.
I guess I gotta do it. It's like number 5 is Nami because Nami's amazing. Sorry, I'm not gonna do it.
Nami's not shy.
I'm getting a lot of good ribbing in. I expect to have it done to me tenfold once I see Steve next.
Stacy, is there a way to rearrange these slightly?
No. One second. Keep talking and I'll do it.
Well,
or maybe us. You could rearrange us.
I wish Steve was on here so he could talk about his. I mean, we all know that Steve loves Sanji. Sanji's cool. Steve's old handle. So number one.
Old handle.
I mean,
Sanji's
Luffy,
cool at yahoo.com, I assume, somewhere there.
So we got Luffy at
Did I
number
just
2,
dox
Frankie.
Steve? I think I just doxed Steve.
you might have, yeah. Number 2, Luffy, of course. Number 3, Frankie, although I know that Steve does prefer his pre-time skip design. Then Zoro, then Nami, which, I got to say to Steve, kudos for only picking Straw Hat characters.
Yeah, good for you. It's so tempting to... I think with these, I really want to pick the characters that don't get a chance to shine like as much. So it's, that's where I'll go first. No, I think these are really solid choices. Frankie, I think I don't know if we all agree, but I definitely agree, got pretty shafted.
Yeah.
Badly, yeah.
It's a good one.
You know what? I have a feeling Frankie's like a lot of people's second or third or fourth favorite character, but not first. Because it's such... We need ranked choice voting on these popularity polls. That's what we need.
Well,
more democracy in these.
Well, if Frankie were here, like Steve, I'm sure he would say, "Why me do?"
That's a joke. 3 people. Okay, he hasn't said that in years either. Okay, so let's lift these top 5 off of our faces for but a moment.
Yeah, we have a whole other bunch of top 5s to cover our faces in a moment.
Oh, now I remember why I covered my face. Yeah, let's get the next batch of top 5 to cover our faces. How are those Mike and Ike, Sam?
They're really good.
What's your favorite Mike and Ike? I don't think I've ever had Mike and Ike's, to be
Mike's
fair.
or Ike's, do you prefer?
Mike's or Ike's. Oh, look at this! This is so much
good. I like it.
And that's how we became the Brady Bunch. So we got let's see, Alex, why don't we go through yours first?
Sure. So mine are pretty pretty general. I wanted to do a mishmash of Straw Hats and fun characters that I like. I feel like in my heart, Luffy should be number 1, but I feel like he gets enough votes as it is, and I want it to be different. So my number 5 is Buggy for the reasons I sort of mentioned during Joey's list earlier. Buggy is a really great, you love a villain who is incompetent, but also like deep down is probably a good guy. And after watching, I binged the Odin flashback recently, and all the Gold Roger stuff is really great. But seeing like little kid Buggy is really, really great. He's really cute and still maintains this like bugginess.
The bugginess,
right?
Flashily.
Yeah, it's nice to have a villain too that like right off the bat from the very first time you see him has like he's got a deal. He likes treasure. That's why he's a pirate. He's a pirate because he likes treasure, but it also helps that now we know that he's been a pirate pretty much all his life. So I don't know. I think Buggy's a really, really great character. Shigeru Chiba kicks ass as his voice in the anime. Which brings to my number 4 pick, Django, my favorite side character of all time. If I had my way, 4 would be Django and Full Body, because I think Django is only best when he is with Full Body.
How did you get his picture there if he wasn't in the top 100?
I was wondering that as well.
Stacey hooked me up.
Wow. Wait, Stacey, is that his Japanese name too there?
Yeah.
Wow, Stacey.
Keep up with the aesthetics.
Stacey, extra
So
credit.
impressive.
you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Wait, do I still have my sound effect? Do I have like an extra credit sound? No, that's not. That's not extra credit sound.
That's great. Oh, sorry, Billy and the Blue. Yes, Buggy is very flashy. But I'll flashily talk about Django. The first time I saw
wait.
Oh, yeah.
Dilcor said One Piece branded Mike and Ike's, Mike and Hoikles.
Michael and Hoikles.
Moikles and Hoikle. It should be Moikles and Hoikles.
Mike's and Hoiks.
Moiks and Hoiks.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they're still just as chewy. Um, the first time I saw Django was the first time I watched One Piece was the Kuro arc, and Django was this kind of exemplifies the things I like about anime, like how fucking wacky characters can look, and how much like celebrities they can look without them getting in trouble for it. So for a very long time, of course, I was like under this impression because of the moonwalking and he's doing the thing and he's a dancing dude. That Django was a Michael Jackson analog, but over the years, I've come to realize that he is a Kazuki Yao analog who ends up voicing him. Like Oda and Kazuki Yao go back a little bit even before the anime made its debut. So I think it's kind of fitting for him to be represented in this way. Django kicks ass. I love anybody. He's very funky. Brook is my number 3. Brook is very funny. I don't think he gets as much play in the story, but he's a singing, talking skeleton who farts, and that gets me. Like that's what I love about One Piece.
And he helped you draw skeletons a lot, right? Like I remember you saying like you drew skeletons differently after.
I didn't know. Yeah, well, his backstory is amazing. Bink Sake is my favorite thing in the anime. Brook is amazing. Frankie's my number.
The thing I love about Brook, the way I think Brook really exemplifies One Piece is how like he can have all these silly things, but like they have like the closer you get to them, the more serious they are. Like the afro, like the fact that there's a believable, like really heartfelt reason why he has to protect that afro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think I kind of rolled my eyes when he first showed up in the manga, like weekly, and everybody's like, "Oh, Luffy asked him to join the crew." He said, "Yes, he's going to join the crew." I'm like, "All right, slay your role. It's cool that he's a talking skeleton, but like, slay your fucking role." But he's a musician, like the thing that Luffy wanted since the beginning. Like this has been telegraphed. He's a skeleton. How piratey is that? Like, I just love that. Like, there's room in this story for a character like Brook.
Bink Sake's resonance in the Odin flashback too is just such a cool,
yeah.
It's very cool.
That song is great. It's the only nursery rhyme I know. That might be a problem, but
that is a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, you're gonna have to learn some more, I think.
Lullabies or whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna be singing Bink Sake, and my wife's gonna be like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Singing about alcohol to your.
Yeah. Number 2 is Frankie. Frankie made a really big impression on me when he first showed up weekly, and hasn't really gone down since. For a while, he was my number 1. I love how bombastic he is. I love a Yankee type character, and Kazuki Yao also voices him, which absolutely floored me the first time I heard his voice in the anime, because he showed up in the manga first, obviously, and you think he's going to have this burly Patrick Seitz-esque voice, and he ends up having Kazuki Yao's like just general cadence, which is very funny. Brook. I'm sorry, Brook is great, but Frankie is really great. I am one of the few who I think his time skip design is amazing. I'm going to say that I do prefer it now because it's like everything that Frankie wants to be is what he is. He's a giant toy. So I think that I think it couldn't be any more fitting. And Zoro is my number 1. Zoro of course, Ed has such a way with words when it comes to Zoro. But I will go the opposite direction. And I will say that Zoro is cooler than all the other characters because he can use 3 swords instead of less than 3 swords.
What about Hachi then? Shouldn't Hachi and what's his name from Fishman Island be your top 2?
I said use swords. They can barely use those swords. Zoro knows his way around a sword or 2. And the first time I ever saw One Piece and the reason I got into it is because I saw Zoro. I'm like, that guy is using 3 swords. That's crazy. Anime is cool. Like, and he can use 9 swords. Hachi can't do that.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, Hyozo can't.
Not
do
really
that.
clear.
Yeah, Kaku apparently can use 4 swords, but that doesn't count at all. Anyways, Zoro's great. Zoro's great. One Piece is great, and I yield my time. Fuck you! I
Okay,
yield my time.
his time has been yielded to Stacy. Do you want to go through yours?
Yeah.
I see them up
So
there.
yeah, number 5, I have Kuzan as well, and Sam put it really well. Like he is, I feel like he could have changed things from the inside, but once he starts to realize, I guess the moral impact of like just having to listen or having to take orders from Sakazuki wasn't something that he's willing to do, and he was able to kind of question what he is trying, like his end goal is not aligned with the Marines anymore. He's willing to leave that to pursue it a different way, which I really love that. And he's very complex. And
Aokiji discovered that he's too good to be a cop.
yes, basically.
Yeah,
he did the PI route, and this is like
Yeah.
the side TV show, which I would totally watch.
Yeah,
And I really do love his character design and his laid back personality, which I really click with. And
you know who I just realized was snubbed, Stacy? Camel, the penguin, the giant penguin that he hangs out with. Snubbed.
Oh my gosh, that's so true.
Yeah.
And and then I really love Robin. Robin's my waifu. As for many other people, like she's amazing. So many like lists of what she just checks off. Like she's really amazing. I love her powers. It's really a different take on growing limbs that Oda does, which I was very fascinated when I first saw her in the anime. And definitely Zoro, I love he's just so cool, and he's so loyal to Luffy, which I really love that for any character who is loyal to their friends to the point where they would be so self-sacrificing, which I think any of the Straw Hats would do, but I think Zoro kind of takes it to a different level in how Oda was able to showcase it in Thriller Bark. And definitely Crocodile's my number 2, because if a villain is written really, really well, they're always be in my top 5. And I always talk about when people ask me who my favorite characters are, and like number 2 is Crocodile, people look at me really strange. I'm like,
but you're right.
I love a good villain. He has great aesthetic, and he's one of the only pirates with a hook. Well, right? Yeah, I believe so.
I think he's the only one. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else has a hook, actually.
And Stacy, when you say, he's well dressed, also that I remember in Impel Down, he needed to get something from Ivankov because he's like, I'm not wearing this. Like, I got to wear something cool.
Yeah.
And,
just suddenly manifested, like, here you go. This fits you perfectly. And
he needed Kinemon is what he needed there.
Yes, he wears it well, too. And Luffy's definitely my favorite. He's always been my number 1. Like, he's why I continue to read One Piece and why I fell in love with it so much. And it won't change. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's so basic. But I'm like, but it's Luffy. It's one why a series stays so popular is really dependent on the protagonist for me. And Luffy is just, he hits all the marks, and he's very lovable. So I will continue following his journey and supporting him.
Joe.
All right, so same like what Stacey was saying, like Luffy's my number 5. Just kind of a safe pick. I think he's a really good character. Frankie. So when I initially made my list, I did a Straw Hat one and a non-Straw Hat one to really narrow it down. And after thinking about it, I think Frankie's probably my favorite Straw Hat because, like, he's funny and ridiculous, but he's also genuinely very caring. And I think that's really interesting. Like, his, like, everything in this lobby with, like, trying to support Robin emotionally and, like, giving her words of encouragement is just really cool. Like, he's just kind of like a cool dad. Yeah, he's good with kids. Mm-hmm. He's just like the cool dad. And I think that's really cool.
And he's 36.
he is 36, and he's got all kinds of robot powers, and his hair is completely customizable. I guess to touch up on like what Alex was saying, I like his post-time skip design, but I also really like his pre-time skip design. If I could like merge the two and just have his hair be completely customizable pre-time skip, that would be very cool.
Yeah.
Corazon, so like I had a hard time picking my 3 through 5, and like I was just thinking like, well, I love so many characters, so who would qualify for like my 3rd, 4th, and 5th positions? And looking at them, like the one that just consistently got the biggest reaction out of me was Corazon. And also I just thought of like, well, what merchandise do I have? Because that's a pretty good indicator. And I found out yesterday I apparently have every Corazon figure, so that's a thing. Because there's only
How
like
many?
5. There's like
Okay, I
5.
was gonna.
Yeah. But he's just a really good like flashback character. Like pretty much every mentor character is good. Like Belmare, Sherlock, like we all love them. And because I guess because of the association with law, it's just Corazon's really good. Shanks is my number 2. He used to be my number 1 for a very long time because it actually took me kind of a while to get into One Piece, and every time I would try, I'd just start from episode 1 again. So I saw Shanks a lot because I just kept rewatching the first few episodes, and I just thought he was really cool. And in Luffy's flashback, I thought like how much he supports Luffy was really sweet, and he's badass, but he's also just genuinely very kind and like gentle to those he cares about. And I am very excited to just whatever the future holds. Like he just looks like a normal dude. He's not gigantic like Whitebeard or Big Mom or anybody, but he's on par with them, and that's what is going on with him. I want to know, but also everything from the flashbacks.
What do you think about Baby Shanks?
I really hope that that's his kid. I think.
Oh no! I meant
I'm sorry. I thought
in the Roger
him as kid.
flashback.
Me too. I agree with you that I do.
That's probably his kid. Yeah.
He's adorable. I think I pre-ordered the figure of him as like they have a figure of him as a kid with the chocolate, and I think I pre-ordered that.
And there's all the ones with him and Buggy that are coming out soon together, which are probably. Buggy's there too.
When that chapter came out, I was just like, "Oh my god, my tiny husband. He's very cute." And that's the thing. It's like Law is my number 1, but I always refer to Shanks as my husband. Not Law is Luffy.
You can have more than one.
Law's your side piece.
Law's Luffy. Yeah. I was gonna. Yeah. I was gonna. Stacy.
Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Okay, so where do I even start? Like, I was always like, I guess initially when I'm just more going into my history more than my thoughts. I'm not Ed, but I was like interested in Law because I kept seeing like pictures of him as I was reading through One Piece, and I was like, who is this guy? Why is everyone so interested in him? So he caught my attention, and then what really hit me was in Marineford, and like that the rest was mostly just history, like him showing up at Marineford for no reason other than just to save Luffy. And I think that's partly what intrigues me to him is the fact that he has no real obligation to Luffy or the Straw Hats, but he still just sticks with them, and it feels like relatable to me when you're someone who's kind of awkward, but you do still genuinely care about people. You just are a little awkward about how to show it. And so in that way, I kind of relate to Law, and especially in his flashback when he felt super ostracized by society, that kind of hit me kind of hard. And that's a big reason why Law is one of my favorite characters.
I'm sure you've said that explanation before, Joe, but I forgot because I forget a lot. But that's a cool. I like that reasoning, and he definitely has been opening up a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, because everyone always thinks like, oh, he's like the cool guy. It's like to me, he feels more awkward. Like he kind of wants to join in, but he doesn't feel comfortable opening up, so he's just kind of like awkwardly there.
the scene where he's like, I don't like bread. Why am I into, or whatever the joke behind that is. Like, I think that was him like, oh no, I'm letting down my guard. And I'm not used to doing that. Also, to be fair, I think people think that people who have like their emotions, like, don't know how to, figure that whole thing out. Those are cool people. Sometimes, a lot of the time. That might be, maybe that's an idealization in our country. Okay, so speaking of figures, I feel like we should do Jill's. Yeah, go for it, Joe.
Okay, so her number 5 is Doflamingo, and I imagine this much the same as mine, where he's like, Doflamingo is my favorite villain, and he's just like this. He's so interesting because of his flashback of his past of like being a noble and then being a poor, and his speech in Marineford. He's maniacal and he's childish, but he also has a god complex. He's just crazy.
That hits too close to home for me.
And then his attire, like the way he dresses, has always just been ridiculous. Law, Joe is also a big Law fan.
She meant to put this as number 1, but obviously number 4 is an accident. Kobe always almost on my top 5. I think he was on my non-Straw Hat top 5. I think she likes how much he cares about Luffy. He was like the first friend Luffy made in the entire series, and just throughout the whole thing has just followed him and gushed about all of his adventures. Kobe's a very good boy. And then of course. Sorry, I was just reading Maddie's comment about Doflamingo and how he loves that he's not redeemable, and that is the feature. Maybe that's okay. Yeah. I guess Arlong has a similar. But he dresses a little less. Just wears a Hawaiian shirt.
I mean, Arlong can sort of be redeemable given what we learned about fishmen, but yeah. Well,
I don't think
not what he does, but you kind of understand where
he's under. It's understandable. Yeah. I don't think it's redeemable.
He's evil for human reasons that human beings tend to be evil. Yeah.
That's more what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Doflamingo's just like to the core. No. He's the champion of evil.
There's a lot of stuff I don't like about that flashback. That's one of them. That's just stupid.
He has the belt. He gets the belt.
He's the ultimate heel. He just keeps the belt forever. Never gives it up. That's how wrestling works, right?
Yeah.
He's a heel and then he turns heel.
He was always heel. I don't think he ever.
And he wears heels.
He does wear heels, and that is
which
respectable.
Is why we love him. Yeah.
Yeah. I would fall on my face immediately.
Also, I just saw someone ask what I think of the evil Shanks theory.
I meant to ask you that, Joe.
Yeah. I don't think it's plausible. Like, I don't know. That just seems such a cliche. Like, nah. I mean, if you want to have a headcanon, that's fine. Whatever. Write your fan fictions, but
I think there's probably just more going on in that, with the 5 elders and all of that than we know, and there's probably a reason why Shanks has some sort of relationship with the government that we don't know, but I don't think it's that he's evil, so to speak.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's not that he's just powerful physically, but he's powerful like through influence as well.
He's politically connected.
Yeah, it's like in the Marineford when Sengoku is like, all right, I'll stop this war for you because it's
he's a lobbyist, the scariest of all characters.
But yeah, so then Joe's number 2, of course, is Big Mom. I know she absolutely adores Big Mom. She thinks Big Mom is so cool and so badass. Like, to have a female villain be this powerful, but also this like interesting as well. And I know she's also cosplayed Big Mom, which is also very cool. Her cosplay is very well done. And then of course,
yeah. Check that out if you haven't.
And then of course her number 1 is her girl Shirahoshi.
That's her waifu?
Her daughter. She loves her daughter. Okay. She has a very large collection of Shirahoshi figures. I don't know if it's all of them, but it's certainly most of them.
I have a picture of it actually.
Yeah, and it's
Do
very
you have
cute.
it available?
Yeah.
She has it decorated with like mermaid
Oh.
stuff. Yeah,
She's
it's
telling us in the
super
I
cute.
shared it before.
she was telling us in the latest podcast that she just bought a $1,300 one.
Yeah, she bought the really big one. That
Big
one,
ol' Shirahoshi.
big
Yeah.
statue. Yeah.
That's so much money. So who else do we have here? David Bednar. Alex, do you want to do David's?
Sure. David's got he's basically got a hand of waifus here.
Yeah. I think he's mentioned that.
Yeah.
The no voice mode.
That's right.
It's a no voice mode.
Perfectly fine. Number 5 is Carrot. Sam
Watch it, buddy.
has, yeah. Careful. Yeah. Number 4 is Vivi. I am really delighted that somebody has Vivi in their top 5.
She's great.
Yeah, Vivi's really great. And I know that David is
I appreciate her more and more as I get older. Like people used to really hate her, I think, back in the day. Is that wrong, Alex? You were very connected with the internet back in the day.
Yeah, I didn't care for Vivi for a little bit. And I blame the anime because of the stop all the fighting.
Please stop the fighting.
All the fighting. Yeah. It goes
in the
on
manga,
for so long.
it is not that it's I think it does the opposite effect in the manga, where it's not annoying. It's like, look, she's like trying to get through to them, and you really feel that.
I definitely felt that. Like Alabasta, because I watched the anime first, Alabasta is honestly one of, like, I don't really care for it. It's like, it's okay, but
Yeah. Of course, I've come around on Vivi since then. Vivi's great. Mm-hmm. She's amazing. Shirahoshi is his number 3. I actually didn't see that coming, but he likes big women. So
that's Jill's daughter you're talking to.
That's right. Hey,
watch it, buddy.
That's somebody's daughter. Speaking of big women, his number 2 is Boa Hancock. Another really great, I would say, underrated pick. Looking at everybody else's top 5, for me, Boa Hancock didn't like. I hate to say it, but she didn't really shine for me until Stampede. I think she has she is the MVP of that movie.
She is.
She's really great. And his number 1 is Nami, which is not a shocker if you know David. Yeah. He loves Nami. I don't think I'm telling any tales out of school when I say that. So that's David Bednar's list. I'm sure if you tweet at him, he will give his reasoning for all 5.
I'm trying to see if I could figure out Dennis's. I knew, so number 5 is Robin, and I'm sure for all the reasons we said. Number 4 is Luffy, and I'm sure for all the reasons we said. Number 3 is Sanji. I don't know if I've heard Dennis really talking about Ichna, by the way, is the one I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've heard him talk about Sanji. I've definitely heard him talk about Shanks, and he has cosplayed Usopp in all his forms.
Yep. Well, Dennis is as I would call him, a world-class cosplayer. He is. He's really great.
He's as close to we say cosplay and cos work, I think, is the Venture Brothers joke.
That's right.
Dennis is as close to I think he's right in the middle there. Like he is very, very, very good at what he does.
Dennis also had cosplayed Sokka from Airbender a lot. And it's really funny because Sokka and Usopp, I think, are very much on the same level in terms of characters.
I can
those
see
of
that.
you who are familiar, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, we have Maddie's notes, so we could go through these.
Maddie had to leave
because
the
I
chat,
know Maddie's definitely in the chat. Yeah.
Well, she just she left the notes because she just left the chat.
Oh, okay. Well, then we get to talk about her while she's not here. No. So So number 5 is Kozuki Odin because he is larger than life and basically a real life folk hero. I know you guys. I meant to thank Ed for hosting last week, but you all did a very good job talking about Odin. And I love the idea of him as a Paul Bunyan-esque folk hero. That's, I think, absolutely what he is.
I wasn't on that episode. I fully planned on it, but Greek Easter intervened, which is why I binge watched all the anime last week. I do want to say that Odin fucking owns, and that flashback whips Lama's ass. Owns. Yeah, it also fucking owns.
Did you just re-download Winamp recently? No. Is there okay?
I think it'd be really funny though if everybody just if it got brought back.
And there were Kozuki Odin
skins. Yeah,
skins,
I want an Odin skin. Yes, for sure.
I want an Odin skin. For
Oh my god. Yeah.
Give me a second. Okay. Next is Crocodile, and her explanation here is it's Crocodile. 2 exclamation points.
I mean, yeah, big duh.
Yeah. Number 3, who I'm guessing Stacy used her magic with, his Vito, the fire. She says, "Love the fire tank pirates. Vince Smoke fanboy. He got big ol' hands." That's
It's somebody else's Bartolomeo.
Hisaji's Bartolomeo. I think. You know what? That explains it, because we'll get to it, but that explains her love of Vito right there. Number
Don
2,
Vito Corleone.
I love that she didn't leave an explanation for her number 1, by the way.
No,
number
she did.
2,
It's down there.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, you just gotta scroll.
Number 2, Kaku. Giraffes are my favorite animal. He's so passionate about giraffes. Once he was forced into the role. Let's be fair here. I don't remember him talking about giraffes while he was working on boats.
It's giraffe Stockholm syndrome.
Right.
Plus, he's adorable. Look at his eyelashes.
It's true.
Yeah, no, he is adorable. He is, and I do. Kaku is cool. Yeah, Kaku is unabashedly cool.
He's the one earlier
Josh.
that I was surprised was so low. Maybe it's like my own bubble, but I thought Kaku was more of a beloved. He's like 77 or something, and I would have put like a mid-40s kind of thing.
I definitely put him above Lucci, in my personal ranking.
Yeah.
Josh, when did you start One Piece again?
Oh, when did I have
start
a rebirth?
Watching?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Last summer, about a year ago.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Never mind. I was gonna say I feel like it's a generational thing in like Water 7 and NES Lobby. I feel like are really like crucibles. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for.
Crucible.
But they're really important moments. They're touchstones, I think, for a generation of One Piece fans. I think Dressrosa was that for some other for like another generation. Wano is that. Joe is here. I'm representing Joe.
Yeah,
I think Wano is that for this generation.
You had that poll that you put up the other day, and I thought that was very interesting and made me feel old as shit. But having come up like pre Water 7 and going week to week, I remember the day that I was talking to Greg, like the Raw chapter had like leaked or whatever, and we didn't have any way of getting it officially back then, so it's fine. And I was talking to Greg, and Greg was like, "This guy's joining the crew." And I was very like until the CP9 reveal, I was like, that guy, he's the guy. Like, and I don't know. He's very innocent.
Greg thought Kaku was joining the crew too.
Yeah, that's right.
You're calling him out. Wait, Stacy, who is he calling out?
Greg was wrong.
It's not a bad prediction. He gets like at the end of
that's
why
he liked Kaku so much.
I remember the conversation we had.
Greg's gonna be.
I might have a transcript of it, which is crazy because this was like a 2005 a conversation that we had. But
you have a transcript of a 2005 conversation about Kaku?
It might be
always
an AIM,
keeping notes.
It was either on AIM or it was through my email.
He keeps the receipts.
Yeah.
He keeps the receipts.
I have AIM logs.
I do too.
I thought AIM closed.
Yeah, but I saved
files.
Oh, he's got TXT files on the computer.
That's what hard drives are for, Sam. Come on.
That's right.
Wait, it was TFC? That's what.
But his, I believe his reasoning was because at the end of that chapter, like where he's introduced, there's like a whole 3 pages of like Kaku zipping around Water 7 or whatever, and Iceberg has that like narration about like who Kaku is. And it is and he's got like Oda boxes. Like it was
misdirection. I think Oda was 100% trying to do that. He was
great misdirection. That entire arc, because
that would be an oversaturation of long nose straw hats, though.
But you also have oversaturation of sword users. Let's be fair.
I don't know if we knew.
Brooke's like a sort of sword user. He's not.
Well, he's a fencer. It's different, I guess. But yeah, it would have been weird having
small
two
part of his
long-nosed fellows. But long story short is, the Kaku love has been rampant throughout much
through
of,
our generation.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd also say like that CP9 reveal. I still think to this day was the most surprised I was of any like reveal in the series,
I
and there's
think
been a
so,
lot.
too.
Yeah. I'm very, very grateful that was not spoiled for me, and I hope we're not doing that for anyone here.
Spoilers.
Log off.
Alex, do you want to read Maddie's number one here? Because I can't do that impression.
Oh yeah, sure. Well, it's Sanji, and her reasoning is, he's my boy.
There you go.
I don't know if that was a good Hank Hill or not.
I think that was a good Hank Hill.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
That was a good Hank Hill. Did we do everyone here? I think we did. Are there more? There are probably more, Stacy, right?
Nope,
no?
that's it.
Oh, that's it.
Yep.
Whoa. Okay, we could take questions from the audience if there are any questions. I do want to note, I did not realize Sam slowly gets lower as the podcast
Yeah,
goes
he
on.
always says that.
I remember that. But, I'm getting uncomfortable. I'm falling closer to the screen as
And I start grabbing things off my desk to show off to the camera.
We could do that too right after. Since we're not doing game night tonight, we need to do showing things off for the camera night.
I'm at my parents' house sitting right now, so I don't have anything that I can pull over. I guess you can. I don't know. Never mind. I'm like I have stickers from Steve and Mike and Maddie on my water bottle. Buy their stuff.
I have the Maddie sticker sheet. Yeah. I always feel bad using stickers on things.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to ruin it.
I don't want to ruin. They're on the sheet already. Why would I ruin the sheet?
She drew me.
I got the carrot. I got the carrot.
So Diclor in the chat says, I thought Kaku would join the crew until I learned Frankie was a cyborg. I was legitimately like on God, Water 7 reading it for the first time was such a roller coaster. And I remember distinctly like there was a humongous divide between the fandom, even during Enies Lobby, even after Frankie got his solo fight with Fukuro. People thought that Paulie was going to join. It was like the Frankie side and the Paulie side, and then there was a very small small Kaku side. Oh well, when he got knocked out, he smiled. So that means he's going to join the crew. Very very fun, very fun theories back in the day.
Maddie did send me this. Sorry, that's fine.
That's very cute, little teacup.
I have a Travis touchdown from Maddie, but it's across the room. It looks nice. It looks great, folks.
Take his word for
I'm
it.
supposed to trust him on this.
I was a Paulie guy. I thought Paulie would join for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I already like when I finally watched all of One Piece, I already knew who the whole crew was because I had seen so much merchandise. So it was interesting because it's interesting to hear this because for me there was like no real surprises. It was more about like how did it happen? Like okay, well I know this guy joins, but how?
Who did I know? I knew Robin. I didn't know Frankie, I don't think, because there wasn't a lot of stuff out with Frankie, even though I think he was part of the crew when I caught up.
Yeah, because when it came to the US, that was prior to Water 7.
Yeah, the
dub.
I think the Funimation dub started in 2007, and if Steve is in the chat, he'll yell at me in a second if I'm wrong.
No, it would have been 2009.
I think it was 2007. I thought it was on Toonami. No, it was not 2009. We started in 2009, and there was already a lot of DVDs out.
Yeah. So Ryan McGinnis in the chat says, I wanted Paulie so badly, most interesting fighting style in the series. Hard agree. I always wondered, like, rope action. It kicks ass. Like, he had
was he even in the top 200 here? Did
69.
Paulie even get?
Nice.
Really? 69?
69. Nice.
Yeah. Which is
which is funny for Paulie.
69 and other things with this rope.
Yeah, he'd be like, no, this is
Paulie would not be into that. Yeah.
When I was catching up.
Yeah, it's too prude. I love how prude he was. He had like Paulie. Like I can totally see the argument. Paulie would have been he had this funny joke thing with Nami. She's not, she's wearing too little clothes. He had a move set. I'm really like shocked that he is not in any of the fighting games. I'm shocked and appalled because he has like a full move set. Yeah,
Paulie.
Like even when Fighting for One Piece came out, which is a terrible PS2 fighting game. It was during it was hot, like red hot during the Water 7 arc, and the two secret characters were Frankie and Paul and Aokiji. And Eneru, I guess. And wait, is Paulie in the game? I don't think Paulie was in the game. I remember being shocked that he wasn't. He has a moveset. He's a fighting game character.
Next question. Where did he keep all the ropes in his full denim?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's
like a Spider-Man situation.
He just got them like tied around his body underneath his clothes. And he just,
Are you saying he injected the ropes into his skin and shot it out?
No, a rope bit him.
I don't want to think about that.
Oh, a rope bit him.
A radioactive rope.
A radioactive rope. I would read this.
Well, only in the movie version. In the comics, he had to make it himself.
That's true. Okay. Gabe, so was it really just the furries that helped Carrot make top 10, or is it her character that they love? Sam, you seem to be. Let's get you back up here. You seem to be the appropriate person to answer this.
I mean, it kind of depends. Like, how do you define furry? Because, like, I think of a furry as somebody who likes specifically like the American cartoon mascot and like dresses up in the fursuits and stuff.
Should we get the Urban Dictionary definition out here?
Usually it's just like anthropomorphic animals of any kind.
I'm guessing they mean like animal people fans in general.
But like fans in what way? Is it like fans or fans? Fans. Like, woo, that guy's a fan of that. Is it like how Sam is a fan of Carrot, or is it like how Sam is a fan of Caribou? Like, how strong is this fandom here? Because we know his Caribou fandom runs deeper than we would all like to think.
Dualities of Sam.
The dualities of Sam. Oh God, thank you so much, Stacy. By the way, look. So it shows popularity over time. Let's just scroll down.
What year was that?
Yeah, I want to see what year that like.
Was it the year Zootopia came out?
Probably. It looks like
1800. Not doing good.
Were there no furries in the early 19th century?
Interesting.
What's going on here?
Is that where's that? Is there a Robin Hood jump in the late 60s? Because there should be.
Well, I'm curious where the
well, this
term
is like when the
coined.
word was being used.
Yeah,
right?
this is the word. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it's not like the.
Stace, you're brave to put this onto your browser history.
We're in a fur renaissance right now.
You're right. We're in a furissance.
For Renaissance.
Okay, wait. An enthusiast for animal characters with human characteristics, in particular, a person who dresses up in costume. Oh, so it's exactly what you said, Sam. Or it could also be a small, fur-covered animal, typically a rodent. So, Carrot is both. Carrot attracts furry and is one.
But do I like Carrot because I'm a furry, or do I like Carrot and she happens to be?
Well,
a
do you
furry?
think her popularity, since you have the Carrot pulse, you're feeling the pulse of the Carrot community.
He's got the voice of the people.
Carrot?
Yeah,
he's got the voice of the Carrot people.
Carrot draws shoujo fan art of her friends.
That is actually my favorite part about Carrot.
I think that's the thing. It's like she's very cute. Like I like Carrot too. Yeah. She's like it's like what she described as she's the little sister of the crew, kind of.
She is.
Like, she wants to go on an adventure, and she's cute and naive because she's like, whoa, there's more than 5 islands out there. That's crazy.
And she looks like a chopper.
Tough and strong, and she's like a creative type, and she's very affectionate.
She's the first Sulong form we see, and it's so badass.
Really badass.
Yeah, there's much more to her Sulong form than most of them.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed by some of those.
Yeah.
The Cat Vipers was good, but it wasn't like I don't think it was out of the box.
And plus, I think
like Carrot's feels like a whole new design, whereas the other Sulongs are just like the same design but like spikier.
I was gonna say
Go ahead.
I think she's the first mink we run into on Zoe too.
Unless you count like Ariete or Bariete, is that the monkey?
Bariete is the monkey.
Bariete is the monkey. I don't know what Steve screen capped, but he screen capped something.
The furry definition.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Steve, keep that for your records.
But no, like
let's see.
with Barriet's,
Yeah, come on,
he just
Steve.
fell on their face. We didn't really see him.
Why are you there and not here?
All right,
Okay.
so Zach, read
Alex.
the.
I'll read it already.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Alex, please read it in a Hank
Hi.
Hill voice. Why not? I don't care.
Waha. What common power in media would you like to see in One Piece that we haven't seen yet? I would like to see the ability to make clones, like Twice from My Hero Academia, or Naruto's
You call it
shadow
the
clone.
clone fruit.
Robin.
Yeah, Robin's got that.
Robin's got
Yeah,
that.
basically, yeah.
The ability
yeah.
to make clones.
We haven't seen like a million Robins just
and,
enter
That'll
a
be
room.
that'll be like the
Now-
final arc.
Alex's favorite, Doflamingo.
Okay, so let me
Rizo, maybe.
let me just go on the record about Doflamingo. Sorry, we have cats
another hour
in the background.
I-
I'm just gonna say that I
soon.
think that the making clones out of string is stupid. It's stupid and dumb,
Yeah, I know. That's right. I mentioned.
and is an actual asshole.
Bold point. Yeah.
If he had drawn it differently, would you think otherwise? If he had drawn it like
They were string guys.
yeah, string like
Like-
puppet
Yeah.
weaving
Would that-
kind of look.
Wouldn't that
I think that
defeat
if
the
they,
purpose
like,
of it?
I don't know. Like, it's weird. I kind of get it, but at the same time, I wish that they had moved a little differently, or like, I don't know. It's really sweaty.
So you reminded me of something, and now I kind of want to go on a mini tangent. So like, I like the idea of like Doflamingo being the puppet master, hence the clones. The you mentioned an ass pull and like bullshit. The thing that makes me mad is Doflamingo should be fucking dead. If Law obliterated his organs, and then he's like, I'll just fix them with my string. Okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But once you get knocked out, those strings should disappear, and you should just fucking bleed out.
Yeah, it was a lot of that
yeah.
was sort of that's
For me, we could talk about Dressrosa forever, so I'm going to try and cut this short.
Yeah.
But I that when his head gets cut off, and
I
it's
mean,
like,
we knew
oh,
we saw that
there's a
coming
clone.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
but
fine.
it's like, I don't know. It felt like such a cop out for no reason.
Can I just say that I found out what threading eyebrows is the other day, and it blew my mind, and I was like, oh wow, and now I'm just thinking that's what Doflamingo does to, like, what if Doflamingo was born with like naturally really bushy eyebrows, but he uses his power to thread his eyebrows and just.
Do we know what his
Oh, he's
eyebrows
vain
look like,
enough.
or is it under his sunglasses? Now I need a Doflamingo picture.
I guess
Stat.
we don't know if he has eyebrows. He just threads them off.
Well, a lot of
Yes.
characters just have like lines, like the typical.
Yeah.
Well, he has
anime line.
veins. He has lots of veins
Right.
on his head, all over his head. No, he doesn't have eyebrows in the
Well, that's
anime.
okay. Doflamingo can't, like, his blood pressure is at it has a cap on it because his strings prevent it from
Thank you.
happening.
no eyebrows,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
actually.
don't think he has eyebrows.
Look at
Yeah,
my boy.
no
So
eyebrows.
good.
He is good. I love
He
Doflamingo.
does have cufflinks, and that I respect in a villain. I think
Okay, yeah.
villains should have
Dio
cufflinks.
Alex says, I feel like the clones didn't need to talk. I
Yeah,
will
that's
say
good.
one thing. I will allow them to talk if they sounded like a violin, like.
To be fair, yeah, but Kinemon's butt talked, and it didn't sound like a butt talking. So
Well,
like,
because it's the
It
flesh.
went poot.
Howard,
Doflamingo's just like really mastered the idea of violining his string voice.
Yeah, as the Doflamingo defender, I hear no critique, but I respect it.
By the way, he is a puppet master, so being able to throw your voice to somewhere else,
He's a ventriloquist.
he's a true ventriloquist.
I will say that, like, I kind of wish that he did the, like, I'm gonna take control of your crew thing, but at the same time, it does feel too cliche. So I don't know where I'm.
Yeah.
I feel like
yeah.
I have a lot of complicated thoughts about Doflamingo, but at the same time, I think that his design is fucking rad.
Yes, I think Doflamingo does represent to me some real wasted potential, and that's what annoys me about him. It's because his introduction was one of my favorite introductions in the series, and then his reintroduction was also one of my favorite when he shows up in Jaya. But I feel like he didn't. And Marineford, he was great. Marineford, I think he is better outside of his own arcs. That's
in small doses. That's what you're
small,
saying.
he's good at small. He is very. We get him in one enormous dose. Like,
Yeah.
it's a big dose. Yeah. What do we have any other questions, Stacey? Okay. We'll answer a few more. Rayun. What about Nami do you guys think resonates with people? She's my favorite character in the series, but I thought I was in the minority. I didn't expect her to make the top 5, let alone the top 3. It was cool. Someone pointed out it's the first 3 Straw Hats we're introduced to. And that is cool to see in the top 3. But thoughts on this?
It's the classic trio.
Yeah.
It's the classic.
I feel like I'm maybe in the minority. I thought that I would have bet my money, my soul, or whatever Zach was going to bet, my eyebrows, that Nami would for sure have been there. I mean, I don't know. She's
Where
smart.
did she place? She usually places like around like 6 or 7, right?
Yeah.
Usually the highest of like any
Usually
other female character.
Still top 10, but usually not top 5. I don't think.
Yeah, this is an unusual one. I'm looking right now, actually. Yeah, go
she's
ahead.
like she's just so clever. She's like always interesting.
She never wears a shirt.
She never wears a shirt, which is great for a certain segment of people. But like she's I don't know. She's always doing something interesting. She's funny. I don't know. She's got like all the right balances. It feels like. So
I think
I guess
an
I don't know.
amazing character.
Yeah, she's really good.
Her
Like,
backstory too.
Yeah.
I think Nami's an easy character to take for granted more than. Because that's the surprise, right? Is that people didn't take her for granted. They do think of her as important as Zoro.
I think Oda sometimes doesn't take her for granted enough, or it does take her for granted too much.
I agree.
Yeah,
I like her in Whole Cake a lot.
She's great in Whole Cake. I
like
feel
she's got some weird stuff going on with like ulti and.
There's a lot of discussion, it's a lot of discourse out there about. I mean, it's somewhat true, but a lot of the Straw Hats aren't growing as much post-time skip, but I think a lot of that is also because they've overcome so many hurdles pre-time skip.
Well, yeah, I mean, they trained for 2 years so that they could be ready for...
Including, I guess, emotionally with each other, because like the stuff Usopp went through in Water 7. And like, even rewatching that, seeing Nami's role in the crew in that, she is the... they tried to retcon Sanji being the true heart of the crew, but Nami is the true heart of that.
Nami's kind of like the Rock, because like initially, like she's the one that takes initiative and gets Luffy and Zoro where they need to go. She's the one that handles the finances and like makes sure everything is running smoothly.
I relate to I like spreadsheets and I love navigation and geography, so. Nami should be higher on my list if I think about it.
I feel like her.
Anyway, no, Josh, you go. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just gonna say, like, just full Nami brain. I feel like her fight with Miss Doublefingers is like an all-timer for me. Like,
that's a really good one.
Yeah, and like my top 10, that's definitely in there somewhere.
I
Along
think
with the
Nami,
party favors and I'm just thinking.
I think Nami's been shortchanged in terms of having fights, and that's sort of like disappointing to me. And I think that it's cool that she's getting some action in Wano, but I still would love another Doublefinger or Khalifa-esque fight where she can really go nuts with her powers, just because she's got like her ultimate Climattact and she has all these weather powers that we haven't seen yet, and like her Climattact can be used as a Nyoibo, like, or a power pole, I guess, in the US. And we haven't seen that really at all yet. And I want her to like Goku it up, man. Like, I think that, oh man, I just had a cool thought. When she gets Zeus for good, she'll full on Goku. Yeah. Because she'll have she'll have a Quinto, and so she'll I like, okay.
I didn't think about that.
I didn't occur to me until just now, and I'm really crossing my fingers because
I've seen that fan art.
Yeah, just because
I haven't.
Oda is such a huge Toriyama nut. Like, I would love. I would. Oh God. I don't know. I hope
it'll be okay. It might happen.
No, he's right. I really want it.
Yeah, I
want it. Like, that's...
Similarly, I remember I saw somebody mention or some. I saw somebody float the idea of Luffy like eventually getting a like Sun Wukong style gear transformation, which would be awesome.
That would be really boss.
By the way, so there were 6 polls before this one in 99, 2002, 2006, 2009, 2015, and 2017. Nami ranked 5, 5, 7, 6, 8, and 8. And her stock had been declining, I guess, recently. So this is surprising, but it's also the first worldwide popularity poll, as I'm sure many know.
Yeah.
So the next question comes from Ryan McGinnis, who might be related to Terry McGinnis of the Batman Beyond series. Since Carrot, I hope, since Carrot got so high in the normal poll, do we think that Oda might seriously consider her for Straw Hat? Before I agree with the Fleet idea, but we might need to reconsider now. And I'm not going to let Sam answer this question.
I don't think the poll makes a difference.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Sam? You're not allowed to answer this question. No,
I'm with Sam, but in the back of my head, I also am like, but it's really cool that Nami and Robin are so high in this poll that I hope that like Oda really sees how much pull his female characters are getting from a worldwide audience. And I really do hope that like he takes that into account in some way. I don't know if he will, or if that's if this is sort of piggybacking off of this Carrot question a little bit. Simply because obviously we want to see more Robin and Nami, but hey, Carrot's good too.
The Carrot for Straw Hat makes so much sense to me, just because like I think she adds good. Just purely on the variety aspect, like she's, all of our new Straw Hats are always like tall. They're always bigger than everyone else, and she'd be like a new short character, and she'd be another fighter girl. She has electricity to go along with like Sanji's fire and Jinbei's water. Like,
and
it seems perfect,
Well, Nami's got electricity too. Let's not.
That's true. Yeah.
And
Luffy has fire too, I guess so.
Yeah,
and Zoro
for some
has
reason.
Fire too. Yeah,
they've all got fired now.
The thing that I don't know if I honestly don't know about Carrot joining as like a numbered member. I think we're probably like after Jinbei, like that's the core crew. However, and I only say this because there's only so many places that we can go at this point because we're like in the end game after.
There's no reason for her to leave.
Yeah, I think that like, and
I think everyone is going to be along for the ride, whether or not they're a crewmate.
Yeah. Sure, like I think
questions.
Yamato is in the picture. I think he might hitch a ride as well. Like I think there's there's
Laws obviously there. Like.
By the way, I had a thought the other day.
What if Yamato or Carrot join Law?
That'd be fun.
Sure.
I could see Yamato joining.
Or Kid.
Or
I want to before we ask Tracker Rock's question, which is how we all choose to pronounce his name. I would say I just want to talk a little bit about, since we are talking about the popularity poll today, the idea of whether or not it will influence Oda going forward. And on the one hand, it definitely has in the past. I think, like for example, Ace showing up repeatedly after he died. Spoiler alert: he's dead.
Sack.
Sorry.
Well, not inorganically though. Like,
so
Ace, Ace has been relevant though. That's the thing. Like, he's continued to be relevant in the story even after his death, and I think that there's an argument to be made about that. I think Marco though, Marco continuing to show up might be a different. Might be sort of along the lines of what you're talking about.
Okay, there's a silverfish upstairs I have to kill, but I'll be right back. But continue answering these questions, Alex. I'm putting you in charge.
Sure. I'm probably gonna peace out in a minute, but
no, we'll probably all. Okay, well, I'll be right back in 1 second.
Well, no, go kill your silverfish.
I gotta kill the silverfish.
I did want to mention about the Carrot thing.
Yeah, go for it.
So like the one thing that I think of is like I think of it like Whitebeard's crew, where like he has his main crew, but then he's got like all these other allies that people consider kind of like auxiliary crew members.
Right.
That's
they're part of the family.
Yeah, and that's how I think of like
Squirtle is a son, even though he's not. Even though he's
because like because some people argue like, well, is Vivi technically a member of the crew, or like the Grand Fleet? So like that's kind of how that's the box I put like Carrot, Yamato, Law. That's the box I put them all in, where it's like they're very close friends, kind of part of the crew, but not really, not like technically, like what or how Alex described it, not like numbered members of the crew.
Yeah,
that's just my point of view.
Yeah, I think that's it exactly. I don't think there's. I think this is like the crew that we're gonna get, and then we have a family?
Yeah, we have the Straw Hat family.
What I missed.
That being said, I do think that Carrot does lend a really interesting dynamic. I mean, we've seen her with the crew. Like, she was the lookout. I mean, if she's going to have an appointed what do you call it, role on the crew, it'd be lookout because she's so floaty. She's like Peach.
Plus, she got them big ears. She can hear. Although I guess they have observation walkie. So
I do like that she has that special spot. Like that's yeah. I wouldn't be against Kara joining. Do you guys think Oda will draw the non-top 50 people like Kara with Vivi or Killer with Kid? He has drawn Vivi and Kara a lot. So.
I think it'd be really great if like Vivi had like a framed picture of Kara that she like had with her, and Killer had a framed picture of Kid that he also like had with him.
Wasn't it? I think it was in this one, right? Where they drew that.
Sorry. There's that YouTube banner.
Sorry, that's this one, but.
Oh man,
there's a YouTube banner with Vivi and Jinbei on it, right?
Bring back Polly.
Is Karu in that?
Yes.
What if he just drew 69 for each of the popularity polls?
Boy,
that sounds like Oda's humor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one.
I really appreciate the Polly love. Oh, that's great. I really appreciate the Polly love in this chat tonight.
Yeah, I'm feeling the vibes for sure.
Yeah.
All right, the Polly vibes.
I'm gonna head out here. So, all right,
Alex, you need to go too. We could do this last.
I do, but I am going to answer this. I'm going to do this last question, which I think, honestly, Sam would be interested in. What is the next cover stories you would like to see? I would like to see the marvelous misadventures of Caesar Clown.
Yeah. But if Caesar Clown gets a cover story, that means he's not coming back in the main story for a while.
Not necessarily for a while.
For a little while, yeah, but. That would be a great one. I like that. I like that idea. So I think we're rounding off here today. This was a lot of fun, though. You could blame.
It would
Sam
be like
and
the
Alex.
Jinbei one. It's him getting the poneglyph before he reunites with the crew.
Yeah.
I mean, I will add my 2 cents here before we go. I think. I mean, I can stick around for a second. I like to hear from everybody, but I think the last time we talked about this was before. I was gonna Michael Love Family. What was it called? The Capone one, Family Ties. Family Fair.
Oh My Family.
Oh My Family.
Oh My Family.
Family Love Michael. Yeah, I look at Banner Michael. The Capone, like Capone was like my number one after Whole Cake ended, and that happened. So I don't know at this point. I would have to wait till after Wano. I could have sworn that there was going to be a Doflamingo Family cover story,
I thought so
similar
too.
to the Baroque Works one, but I don't care about Virgo or Monet. Sorry, and I kind of would rather them. Yeah. I would rather them stay dead. I'll be honest.
I agree, but they are probably some of my favorite Doflamingo related characters. I like a guy who has a hamburger stuck to his face.
I love his like deadpan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
his bamboo bullshit was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I agree.
I want to see what's happening on Whole Cake now that Big Mom's not there.
Oh yeah, like what's
and then like recovering from everything that happened.
Ooh, a Katakuri.
Exactly. What is Katakuri doing?
No, we can't have that because then he's not coming back, and we need him back.
He'll be back.
Well, no.
Stories actually mean they're going to come back in the story, but
in
later.
That case, do it now. Yeah.
Let's get it over with. Come on, what are you doing with these drawings of animals?
Unless you're Inaru.
But Joe, sorry.
I said unless you're Inaru.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's true.
I got it.
Kudatsu
Morgans.
was great too.
Big News Morgans. Like that cover story. Like him floating around trying to get the scoop.
That episode of the anime with specifically that scene with him is still one of the nicest top scenes I've seen in the anime.
Very good.
Okay, Sam's free to leave now. Sam, where can people find you if you want to let people know?
They can find me on Twitter at Lucky Chainsaw. And thank you, Stacy. That's like very classy. That's like
for real.
This is too classy. Do you have Josh's info on there?
Yeah.
Oh,
like if I click that, would that be?
Hey,
no, Josh,
whoever said that they're going to be on, I've prepared.
Yeah, you can find me at Amons, AMONNS. Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I Joe, go ahead. You go first.
I'm at Joe on Boba.
Cool. Alex.
You can find me at Dude Exclamation, and also please listen to Toho Yaro.
There it is.
I think we got a new episode coming out this next week.
There's a cat behind you.
Oh yeah, that's all.
A visitor.
Probably Oliver. If it was an orange cat, it was Oliver. I don't know where the fuck he went. Anyway, yep.
Load up. All right, this is
Viv.
Oh god.
I had to kick my girls out of the room. They were being rambunctious and ridiculous.
Oh.
Okay, that's my face. You can find me at Zach_Logan. We have a new episode of Fight Together, all about transgender representation in the series and its complexities. It's a really good episode. That's probably one of my favorite ones we've recorded. And then next month is Film and Media with the whole Toho Yaro gang, including Alex here. And that episode will be on Patreon early, so please subscribe on Patreon if you haven't. We also do game nights every Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know. And
Force to Watch 4 Kids.
Stacy, where could people find you? Because you have done awesome tonight.
You can find me on Twitter at StacyC435.
Oh, and you're doing you're involved with the magazine, right?
Yes.
The zine.
Yeah, I'm involved with the Woman's Wanted zine. I was the writer for 3 of the characters, and yeah, it took a while for shipping to go out because they're based in Germany, so there was a lot of logistics going into that. So that was a lot of fun, and I also did like an ASL zine for our favorite ASL brothers.
That's cool.
You can find the link on my Twitter as well.
Oh, I thought you meant American Sign Language for some reason.
No.
No, yeah.
Yes.
Age, sex, location. It's a whole thing about AIM and the days of AIM and all the logs that Alex kept.
has.
Yeah.
A dedicated zine just for that. That'd be amazing.
This is Viv. You could follow her on her Instagram. Thank you, everyone. I'm not going to be on the podcast for a little while, but I did this because why not? I only had to get interrupted once, and it was not because my wife was in labor. It was because I saw a silverfish, so that's fine. Anyway, we'll see you. I think Alex, you're going to be on this Sunday's episode, right? So
that's right. Me and Dad and Steve will be taking the helm. It'll be great.
Chaos ensues.
Catch it.
Chapter 10-12. Also, if you haven't checked it out completely, sorry, I'm wasting time, but there is a video that just came out from the singer of the 4Kids rap. Oh, and you do Forced to Watch 4Kids, Alex. I should mention
we do
that.
Forced to Watch 4Kids. Yeah, Forced to Watch 4Kids is a Patreon-only podcast that I do with Steve Ierko, and it's really great. We have incredible chemistry, if I say so myself. But the more importantly, we talk about the 4Kids One Piece, and hopefully we can get
Sean Conrad is his name.
Yeah, I want to get him on the show.
Yeah, Sean Conrad.
Yeah.
I told Steve to reach out. Steve's like, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. What are we gonna say? What are we gonna ask him?
He covers so much in the video. Yeah,
he does. Yeah. Hey, no, don't undersell the opportunity to have him on the podcast.
Anyway, it's a great and if you want to watch along with us, use some creative Googling and find it all in one go. Hint, hint. We found it in a mega upload file. So
he's talking about the 4Kids rap, not the interview with I'm sorry. He's talking about the 4Kids dub, not the interview with the person who made the 4Kids rap.
That's right. It's not available anywhere really. So go ahead and pirate it.
It's 4Kids. It isn't even the same series. It like the episodes start. You're at the point where they like condense a whole bunch and you're getting up to the.
They're all copied and pasted together. They're all Frankenstein creations at this point.
One final time.
And one last thing, thanks to Greg. He did a great job on. Oh, actually, everyone on that WT100 video did a really great job. Please check that out. That is where my joke about shaving my eyebrows and my head came from. That was not my joke. I stole it. But you should definitely check out the video where they announce the winners. But we'll see you later. Thanks everyone for joining. Bye.
Bye-bye.
This has been the One Piece Podcast, episode 672 for the week of Sunday, May 23rd, 2021. And on this episode, we had a Piece Together segment. We had an anime recap with Sam for episode 975. We also had our discussion from a couple weeks ago of the World Top 100 from one of our live streams. So yeah, it was a good show this week, and I want to thank everyone for coming on. Steven, where can people find you?
You may follow me on Twitter at Translatosaurus.
Fantastic. Alex.
I'm on Twitter at @Dude!! And please listen to Toho Yaro, which is also a bi-weekly thing. Bi-weekly? That's every 2 weeks.
And if you want to hear Alex start to break down and lose it, you can listen to Forced to Watch 4 Kids, which he does with Steve.
Oh my god. Every time I've talked about this episode with people I know, like in the last couple days, I've had to just collect myself. I'm still mad and frustrated that this episode exists. It's everybody should, if you're not subscribed to our Patreon, definitely worth it for this podcast, especially this particular episode. I am still beside myself.
All right, Steve, where can people find you?
Yeah, I just let Zach. Sorry, I let Alex just go at it. There's a certain part in the podcast where it just all comes to a head, and I just sat there. Just let it happen. But you can find me over at steveyurko.com and social media like Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at steveyurko.
All right. And you can follow Zach on Twitter at Zach_Logan. I'm Edward E. One Piece. I'm also at Weeb Trailers. Podcast can be found at OnePiecePodcast.com, Twitter.com, YouTube.com, and Facebook.com/OnePiecePodcast. OnePiecePodcast@gmail.com is our email address. You can subscribe. Please subscribe on Patreon. You can get Forced to Watch 4 Kids and Fight Together as well. And you can subscribe on Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio. Subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts, or call us on our phone number. That's 347-497-MAJI.
Maji.
All right. 347-497-6254. Call anytime.
Anytime.
With your questions, your comments, your theories, your reasons why it'll be a T-Rex. That's it. And that's just it. All right.
It's a T-Rex.
And Steve, what's our random character to talk about at the end of the show this week?
I'm so happy you asked, Ed.
Okay.
Today we're going to be talking about Babe.
In the city?
Can you link that?
Oh, Mr. Four?
Mr. Four.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, I could talk. I mean, if I were going to talk about Babe, Bethany's not here right now, but she would go all in on the movie Babe, aka
Babe, wait.
a perfect movie.
Babe. Yeah, I never knew that was Mr. Four's real name until today.
Well, Babe Ruth, yeah, he's the
Viva
slugger.
card. Yeah, the Viva cards are cool because they list all of the Baroque works' real names.
Like Paula and Bentham.
Alex, you're a big Baroque Works fan, so what's one thing you really like about Mr. Four? And don't just say Lasso.
Lasso's a whole separate character. I love the Mr. Four pair. They're great. Mr. Four in particular I like a lot because he looks really doofy, but he's ridiculously strong. And the first Raw episode of One Piece I ever watched, I downloaded a random episode off Kazaa once, and it was the one where he hits Usopp in the head with his bat and breaks his face, and it was it was like, oh shit. It was a definite oh shit moment, and like I have to catch up right now watching this show. Mr. Four rocks. But then again, so does all of Baroque Works, the superior bad guy team.
Mm-hmm.
I really like how they get their attacks turned against them just to lose.
It's really fun.
Like, the end of that fight is so good. And also, he's apparently like a delivery boy. What is that?
Yeah, it says dream. He wanted to
pizza delivery.
Worse delivery boy than Fry from Futurama.
Jeez.
30 minutes or the pizza's free. Pizza time.
Is it,
He only talks slow, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Mr. Four's career chip? Planted.
I just like as the biggest baseball fan on the podcast, I love that Oda managed to to take this concept of like, okay, he's Mr. Four, he's the number 4 hitter, and turn that into a character design all of its own. Like what a fun concept that is. I love that.
I think I didn't realize that was a 4 on his shirt the first time around, and I'm talking many years ago. And I think I like that it's a giant 4, but it's not completely obvious right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
part of it has to do with his bat strap. His sleeves are interesting.
Looks like Brooks' pants from the time skip.
I like his sleeves. They remind me of Mihawk's sleeves, or his like.
Oh, is it like that paisley looking pattern? Yeah.
Paisley.
I don't see a 4 on his shirt. Is it just like the,
yeah,
the
it's
straps?
a big look at the dark green.
The dark green is the 4.
Wow! Holy crap! That's cool.
Now you notice it.
Come on.
Yeah.
See? I was the same way. Great.
All right, cool.
That'll do 4. That'll do.
I gotta say that I missed opportunity for if asking me my thoughts. Me not going, he's really cool, and I just realized that was sort of an emo Phillips impression. Oops, just call me Mr. Butterfingers.
Usopp, hello. Is that a camera you got there? Is that a 5-ton hammer you got there? May I see it?
What 5-ton hammer? I didn't see one. I didn't take a 5-ton hammer.
No. That's not Mr. Four. That's Maloney. No, it's Mr. Four.
No, he's got his thing. We have fun.
We do.
All right. So, cool. Mr. Four, thank you, Steve. And for the One Piece podcast, my name is Ed.
My name is Steve.
And my name is Alex.
And we'll see you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Hold on, I left my